What is going on, everyone? It's episode 169, recorded on Sunday, June 4th, 2023. I'm John, and hey, Hambone and Drew. Kevin goes golfing. Teeing off on the 8th hole, the wind takes his shot way to the right. He goes searching for his ball and finds himself at the edge of a meadow of buttercups, his ball perfectly nestled in the middle. He decides it's such a beautiful field and it'd be a shame to ruin it. So he takes the penalty stroke and turns back towards the tee for another shot. Just then, a fairy appears and says to him, "That was the most kind thing I've ever seen on this course. For being so considerate of the buttercups, I'm granting you a lifetime supply of butter to enjoy." Kevin gets frustrated and replies, "Well, that's great and all, but where the fuck were you on the 3rd hole when my ball landed in the pussy willows?"
You thought last week was bad? Just wait till you hear what Drew and John have to say on a brand new episode of the Dads After Dark show. And here they are.
What is going on, everyone? Welcome to tonight's episode. On tonight's show, we have the man himself, the legend, the Hambone Jonny in person. Yes, we do. And yes, we're going to be talking Tears of the Kingdom because we're still playing Tears of the Kingdom. We've been playing it for a long time. And we're going to talk Ted Lasso because Ted Lasso is done. It's over. Kabish, kaboosh. And what do we think of it? John, buddy, how you been? What the hell's going on? How's your weekend?
You're not. No one can see this, but Drew and Hambone are in the same room. This is the first time we've had two people in a room at the same time. Drew is in a swivel chair, and since he's a child, he's swiveling back and forth as he talks, which won't make for great radio. But
it's totally fun.
But it is fun to watch. How are you guys? I mean, look. How am I doing? I'm doing great. But you guys look like you're having a blast.
I have seen the plushie closet. I've seen the pool. I've touched the pool. I've pet the Goomba. I've checked all the boxes here, John. I don't know. I'm feeling very privileged here.
You didn't float on the eggplant, though.
It's very cold out here in New England today.
It's cold out here. It's a cool 55 out here. So let me do a little rewind here. So Hambone is here. Yes, he's staying the night here in the Diffusco estate. And we have a big golf tournament tomorrow morning. So we figured rather than waking up super early and driving down, we might as well hang out tonight, play some video games, have some beers, have
defending
a nice dinner.
Champs.
Defending champs. We are. Yeah. We are the defending champs of this tournament. So we need to come in tomorrow morning with our A game.
Yes.
We'll report back next week. You know, maybe we can do a little live video on the course to let you know how it's going. But
that's not happening. That's just a totally blatant promise you are going to break.
I might.
We might FaceTime you, John. We'll FaceTime you, John.
Can you Facebook point. Live like through the Disney guys? Like that's what you did.
Well, that's a touchy subject. But
we got to talk about that.
Do we have a dad that's a dark Facebook? No, so we're having a blast. We found out. I made a great dinner.
I gotta say, I'm very impressed.
Yeah,
his grill skills, A+.
Appreciate that. Very good. We had a nice little teriyaki stir fry with some roasted potatoes.
Gotta say, A+.
We played a little Zelda. John was amazing. He brought a gift for my children. He brought some water balloons for my kids. We're having
filled water balloons, or just the rubber.
These are just the rubber,
just the latex,
rubber, John. Yeah, just it's silicone. Okay. So refillable water balloons are pretty sweet.
I'm sharing my salty nuts with John. Himself.
I carried his nuts upstairs to the podcast.
Yeah, we're having some cashews.
Beautiful.
I'm going to watch this jar of cashews go down on my camera.
Oh, man, they're salty.
And, destroy those salty nuts.
You probably can tell we've had a few IPAs, so we're enjoying ourselves. But I need to talk about what happened last time. This is like the double sleepover weekend for me. You know, last night was all about my daughter. We had 6 9-year-old girls in this very room, Hambone. I'm not going to lie, it kind of smelled. I felt bad because
that's okay.
I opened the windows. I did the air freshener for you behind us. I had to make sure this was up to the standard. I changed, I took care of it.
It looks nice.
I will say, though, beyond impressed with the behavior. I mean, they didn't sleep well, but I mean, let's think about this. 6 grown adults in the same room aren't going to sleep well.
No.
It's just, everyone has a different type of sleeping pattern and noises and stuff like that. But I survived the slumber party. It went well. We had a lot of fun.
Wait, hold on. Were you in the room?
I was not. So I was in charge.
Okay. Sounded like you were in the room.
It was my responsibility for nighttime oversight.
No,
oversight.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah. So my wife, my son, and Goomba all slept downstairs, and it was my job upstairs. So we were talking actually. Hambone and myself, my wife we sat down at the dinner.
It was really nice.
The dinner table,
beautiful.
Just the
there was
three
no
of
candles
us.
or anything, but
lovely.
like, you know what? Minus that, it was really great.
So I told this story to Hambone already, but we so in the middle of the night, they kept getting up. They kept going to the bathrooms. They kept making noises. So I was TV off at 11. Settle down. So my wife in the morning goes, "How'd it go?" I said, "Well, they were pretty good, but I had to get up a lot and I had to keep an eye on them. I kept sleeping with like kind of like like when you sleep, you have your ears open, like that statement, right? You kind of just half asleep, half listen." So my wife goes, "Oh yeah, how about around like 2 a.m.?" I said, "Yeah, I was kind of like on and out, like keeping." She goes, "Well, funny because I heard them screaming at 2 a.m. So I came upstairs to check on them, and you were in the bed snoring." Sound asleep, and I had to take care of the situation. I said, couldn't have been. Couldn't have been the problem. But yeah, it was something. For overall, I was
sleepovers
impressed.
are stressful. I think for like when we've had the kids sleep over because they want to stay up late.
Yeah,
and we don't. I mean, we've never said like 11, but I mean, I'm sure they're kind of up a little bit. But if you can hear any little noise or whatever, let alone 6 girls, I mean, my goodness,
that's a lot. If it's 2 or 3, you can easily manage it. But when you have 6 people, it's just everyone has different ideas, different concepts, different sleeping habits, So, but we made it. We're here now, and now, as my kids would say, it's Daddy's turn to have his slumber party sleepover.
This is true.
And we took over Hambo's sleeping quarters with this nice fold out. We have 3 monitors going. We got nuts.
We got a lot of options. A lot of screens.
We did the basketball. The TV too is on. We did the basketball game going with the windows open so we can see outside. This is
amazing.
It's great.
It's amazing.
Amazing.
Definition of amazing.
That's right. Say. That's enough about us, John. Unless Hambone has more to add.
No, not really. I had a kind of a boring weekend. I'm just happy to be here. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, anytime.
Hambo went to sleep early, and we got a couple conversations crossed up, and I swore he goes, "Oh, I fell asleep early last night. I never do." And I was like, "What time?" And then I saw a different chat, and it said 4. I was like, 4? What the heck?
Not 4.
And then it turned out it was like 9:30 or something.
Yeah, weekends are like my game time. I'm going to stay up late, maybe 1, 2 a.m., depending if I'm in the middle of something. But I was I was out early last night. I played some Zelda.
Nice.
And then my wife and I, once in a while, we watch the YouTube channel TizyTube. He does restorations of like rusty shit, I'll just say.
Sounds like an Amaranth channel.
Kind of, but without the tits. And and basically he just like restored this giant cleaver. So we watched that for like 10 minutes. Next thing I knew, it was 2 a.m. I was asleep on the couch, and then I went to bed.
Sounds like he's saying he get a little in, before the weekend.
Maybe, no comment.
Nice
cleaver. Nice. What about you, John? Anything else you need to add, or?
No, in fact, Hambone was asking me before the show what I did this weekend. I was like, "Oh my god, I did nothing. I had a few errands."
That was a nut, by the way.
Nut on the ground. I did nothing. I played a lot of Zelda.
Mm-hmm.
Played a lot of talk about Street Fighter, and
Awesome.
nothing. And it was fantastic.
Lovely. Should we just the show started then?
Let's get it started.
All right, let's do it. Uh-oh. It's Father's Day right around the corner, and you haven't gotten your dad anything yet. Don't worry, that's where the sponsors of today's show, Manscaped, come in. You and I both know that he needs some serious grooming in his life. So grab your dad the Performance Package 4.0, and he'll thank you for helping him tame his beast. It's a win-win situation for both mom and dad. You know what I'm saying? Go to manscaped.com and use code NINDADS, NINDADS, for 20% off plus free shipping. John, I I Manscaped this weekend. I used my shampoo. If you need any shampoo in the shower tomorrow morning, you let me know. I did some extra Manscaped stuff for you. Okay. I prefer you not to shave your pubes in my shower, but
please don't use the Manscaped.
I won't Manscape myself, but I might use some of that shampoo.
I did the shampoo.
Nice. I have the body wash. It's pretty nice. It's good.
I have both. I'll leave a bottle for both of you.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah. You know what I've noticed is all my kids shower not together, but they all shower out in the master bathroom.
Sure.
I've actually lobbied to get them to shower in their own rooms, but for whatever reason, they all shower in one place. So their bathrooms are spotless. And every so often, when I go to grab I have the body wash and I have the shampoo, and I don't really use the body wash all the time. Sometimes. And I go to get some shampoo and conditioner, and there's been a couple times where I've washed my hair and then realized it was body wash because the bottles flipped.
Oh yeah.
And after a couple times of this, now I have to look at it to see, it's white. That's the color of the shampoo and conditioner. But I realize now it means that my kids are using my Manscaped shampoo and conditioner or body wash, and they're taking it down and they're flipping it. So now I have a mystery to solve: is who's using it?
That's a problem.
I will say I have been using the Manscaped body wash, and my wife has been complimenting me on how good I smell.
Really?
Yeah. She's like, you smell good. And I said, Manscaped.
It's Manscaped.
Yeah. Wow.
I use the shampoo now. I'm gonna have a use of the shampoo. I'm a big bar soap guy.
Okay.
Bar soap guy.
Mm-hmm.
So bar soap, whatever. It's good. Yeah.
They're the sponsor though. I don't want to degrade our sponsors. I won't say who, but there's a certain, talk to me offline if you want to know.
When is Manscaped going to do bar soap? That seems like the next natural progression.
You think so?
Dr. Manscaped?
I don't know.
Is that a different
how's the shampoo? Because I'm a Head and Shoulders guy. I don't know.
You'll find out tomorrow morning if you want to try it.
I'll have to try it out. I guess shower on.
Shower on. Shower on. Manscaped, if you haven't bought it yet, go do it. Simple as that, John.
Let's go to the sauce.
The sauce.
We still don't really have bumpers. We'll have to use the Monthly Mayhem bumper.
We've been a little slacking on that.
All right, do you want to talk about Monthly Mayhem and how disappointed you are?
Yeah. Sure. Monthly Mayhem is upon us. We are talking Tears of the Kingdom. We've been seeing tons and tons and tons of pictures in our Discord. Thank you for that. As you know, this month is Tears of the Kingdom, and we have 3 categories. We have Life is Good, pretty broad topic, and we've seen all sorts of images, right? The idea is to submit an image to that channel of what you think life is good in Tears of the Kingdom. The second one is Dads After Dark. Send us the Tears of Kingdom penises and the boobies and the 2 Lizoids fucking each other. Whatever it is, we want to see them. Keep them coming. Third category is fun ways to die, crazy ways to die,
dumb ways to die.
Dumb ways to die. That's the one, John. Dumb ways to die. And this is the one we've seen a lot of fun stuff of. Whatever. You just falling off. You think you landed in the water. You're not. I can't tell you how many bombs have been killing people. And this one is a video, right? Because when you're dying, we want to see it in action. We want to see it. And the last category is pretty much random drawing. So if you submit to any of the other 3, you're eligible for that last drawing. If you don't win, it will give you $10. So each category, we're giving away $40, $10 each. John, we're going to have to figure out a way to solidify this a little bit. We're getting tons and tons and tons and tons of screenshots in these channels, right? We're going to have to find a way, and I think this ends June 10th. So we're starting to wrap this up really soon. So if you haven't submitted anything yet, now's the time. What I recommend you doing is going to your screenshot folder and looking, because I know that's what I do. I find a lot of funny things in the game. I take a screenshot, and then I might forget to go back and extract to that screenshot. So go through your screenshot folder, see what's in there that fills into those 3 categories, and submit. It's a no-brainer. Why not possibly
just submit
win?
Something?
Submit
right? Anything you want.
Because if you submit even something that sucks, you could still win $10 in the random drawing.
Mm-hmm. Might as well. What's the point?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, John, we are going to have to talk about a little bit because if you look in those channels now, they've become overwhelmed with lots of things, lots of chat, lots of pictures. Some people submitted 20 pictures. And obviously, it's going to be difficult to judge. We can talk offline a little bit, or if we want to ask them to do a little bit extra, but there's going to be some...
I think we're fine. I mean, like, it's basically like if you submit 20 things... you don't get an advantage. We'll pick your best one for you.
Yeah. I don't think that works, John. I think you need to have the folks go out there and say what their best thing is.
I guess my concern is, I'm thinking back to the Halloween. Right?
There's a lot of options.
The Halloween mayhem that we did, when I kind of created a PowerPoint and we went through them. Are we going to do that same thing? Or are we just going to literally scroll through Discord? You know?
We'll have to see. I mean, we can ask people like, okay, pick your one or whatever, but are people going to respond to it? I don't know.
Agreed.
I think the only thing we won't consider, obviously, is anything that people posted from other content creators, that sort of thing.
People have been good about saying, hey, this wasn't mine, but hey, this is kind of funny. Yeah. Check this out. Yeah. So I think that's easy to filter out.
Yeah.
Anyways, get your submissions in, because by the time this is posted, it will be pretty much, you'll be listening to this by June 6th, the earliest, which means you have very minimal days to go out there and post it. So please go out there and post your images. It's a no-brainer. This stuff, I look at my friends list and I see over 40 people playing.
Everybody is playing Tears.
First question was, I did not know I had 40 friends. Right? That's a fact. Awesome. And then the fact that there's 40 of them actually playing this game, which means we should have tons of submissions. And I'll be honest, I don't see a ton of variety. I see a lot of the same people.
Yeah.
But I want to see different people. So post your pictures. That's monthly mayhem for us. Anything else, John?
No, I can't. I was actually thinking we had almost 2 weeks left, but 6 days.
I mean, this game's been out for quite some time.
Yeah, we gave a lot of time to, because it's a big game, let people explore and do different things. It's crazy that it's all winding down.
Yeah, agreed.
Let's get to the meat.
First, a reminder, you can check out our Substack at dadsafterdarkshow.substack.com. It has our socials, it has our merch, it has everything you need to know about us, and it has articles, and I probably need to write a new one. Next, before we get started, errata.
Did you just make that word up?
What is this?
Is that a word?
Errata? Yeah, error. I was notified by Kevin last week that I mispronounced Sundelion. I mispronounced it as Sundelion. I don't know quite why I did that.
Well, it's Sundelion.
Yeah, it's like dandelion.
Dandelion, but Sundelion.
Yeah,
right. I don't know. I just read it and I didn't see it as dandelion. So I don't know. It's Sundelion it is. And it was the bane of my existence until the duping glitch.
Which we'll get a lot about shortly.
So I want to apologize to Kevin and to anybody at Nintendo that I offended. And it will never happen again.
I'll tell you what, you offended me, John. And I didn't have the balls to speak up last episode. But I'm hurt.
You didn't even know what Sundelion was.
That's fair. I also mispronounce many words, as John Hambone here should tell you from dinner and my last 5 hours of interaction with him.
It's totally fine.
My wife. Well, I think Hambone can now. I think Hambone can now vouch that even my wife gets frustrated.
She gave him a couple rib jobs while I've been here. It's like, why do you say it like that? Yeah.
It's every day, John. Every day I get bastardized with this nonsense.
It's fine. Just be yourself.
I'm glad that for one time, it was John, not me.
It was definitely John that time.
You fucked it up.
What the hell did you even say, John?
Sundelion. It's not.
Sundelion?
Listen.
I think it's better. I think it sounds better.
DeLeon.
DeLeon is 10 times better than Dillion.
I have to say.
DeLeon.
Wait, you said it's 10 times better than Dillion, but it's Dylan. So you still got it wrong.
I say it's 5 times better than Dylan, but definitely 10 times better than Dillion.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
It's French. It's French.
All right. This week is Summer Game Fest Thursday, 1 to 3 p.m. Mountain Time, followed by Devolver Digital from 4 to 5 p.m. Mountain Time. And then there's 2 other shows that come out later in the week. Tribeca Game Showcase, which actually was pretty good last year, surprisingly enough. They had some neat games. And then the Xbox Game Showcase, which would be really, really good. That's June 11th. Are you guys excited for this?
Let me ask this, John. Let's just say hypothetically, not me, definitely not me, but if there was somebody out there, again, not me, that didn't quite understand what Summer Game Fest was, not me, I get it, not me. What would you describe Summer Game Fest as? This is not for me. This is for the listeners.
So for the hypothetical listener out there that only plays Nintendo and does not pay attention at all to anything.
Yeah. What is Summer Game Fest?
It is basically Jeff Keighley's attempt to be the new E3. You get a bunch of showcases. I'm pretty sure there's some other companies that are also doing videos, but based on their calendar, I only saw these 4. There's a couple other minor ones, I guess. But basically that Thursday show is the exciting one, right, Hambone? I think that's the one where you're going to get announcements from Sony, which we need after the last showcase.
Yes, sir.
Maybe we get something Nintendo, maybe some other publishers that don't do their own shows. You don't really know what you're going to get. But these are kind of like the Elden Rings of the world and stuff like that. So, yeah.
I would say pause on Gunbrella until the Devolver show, but yes.
Is that part of Summer Game Fest, though?
I think Jeff Keighley is kind of like giving himself like a very broad umbrella that
so he tries to take credit for it, but it's really not
kind of. I would almost say it's like the Game Awards, but take out the awards and it's just the trailers and mash them all together.
Right.
We're gonna get some kind of stuff like that.
Yeah, I think they're under the umbrella of Summer Game Fest, I think, but the keynote is the one on Thursday.
Yeah,
that's the way to
absolutely. Do it. There's I saw the graphic of all the different partners on Summer Game Fest. Yeah, you've got PlayStation and Xbox, right? You know, like all the big names are there. What that actually means, who knows? But yes, who knows? We could get some pretty cool announcements this week.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if Sony has a relevant appearance in the Thursday show, because it felt like they kind of held back. We talked about this last week, but
yeah, we talked.
It felt like they kind of held back a little bit on the PlayStation showcase.
Hypothetically speaking, I'm sorry you asked. Just saying.
It's allowed.
So I'm excited for that one. We also got The Last Spark Hunter, which is, I believe, Mario and Rabbids' second. Is this their second DLC that's coming?
No. We didn't have the first yet.
Didn't they have a first DLC, or did they just? Am I just thinking wrong?
No, this is the first.
The first DLC. All right. They didn't give a date, but it has a title.
About the Rayman DLC, but that's not until later in the game.
Oh, but we didn't get that yet.
This is the first we're getting. And I'll tell you what, this trailer sucked. It told you nothing.
I didn't watch it yet.
I just watched it. 22 seconds long, Hambone.
I'm going to watch it right now.
You watch it right now.
They really don't give you anything.
It's nothing.
There's no date.
Bebop. What's his name?
Fuck Bebop. He's terrible. He's the worst character.
This trailer just shows me like it looks like you're from Honey, I Shrunk the Kids in the backyard.
All right, Bebop.
That's it. Done. Over.
Terrible.
Done.
Terrible.
Will you be playing this? Anybody?
That's the question. Does it seem weird that this game didn't do well at all, and it's going to have 3 quote unquote major DLCs?
3 DLCs.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Let me rephrase the question. Did anyone do the pre-purchase?
I did not do the pre-purchase.
You sure? You might want to double check.
I did not. I know I did not.
John, you?
Definitely not. So there was like a season pass, like
I think they did a pre-purchase.
There was.
Okay. You know, so all of this DLC is under that.
My decision there was either buy it at launch or wait 2 months and get the whole thing for the exact same price as at launch. And I decided I want to play it right now, so I bought the base game at launch, and that was done. I gave my $60 and I'm out.
I think this is skippable for me as well.
There's too much.
As much as I enjoyed the game, you know how I feel about DLC. I hate DLC. I think it's dumb, especially months after. It's just hard for me to go back into a game. Like, what's the objective?
Downloadable content.
Wow.
Yeah.
Is that you just come up with that?
On the fly. It's cashew.
You hear this?
Cashew power, my friend.
Cashew power.
Can anyone name the month and year that Sparks of Hope was released?
February 2023.
October 2022.
Yep. October 2022. That is a long time ago. That was 7 months ago.
This is why I'm not a good partner.
Fine. I feel good about having I feel like I'm in the co-pilot seat, like we're in the Millennium Falcon, and I'm like Chewie. And
you're like, I hit the wrong button, and
fine.
you just like, whoa, you can hit that button.
I'm just gonna flip that one back. Hold on, read this one instead.
Glad you're here, man.
Yeah.
Is it weird that they had people pay for DLC like pre-launch?
Absolutely
and 7
not.
months later,
I don't think that's weird at all, though. They do
no,
that
no,
all
no.
the
But
time.
then 7 months later, you still don't have DLC yet. 7 months later, no DLC. Isn't that? I feel
I'm
weird
okay
to
with
me.
that. I'm okay with that.
Yeah,
I mean, give me some
okay
levels like a month later or something.
Like maybe they were still developing that, and then compare that to Fire Emblem that just like spit out their DLC like within like 2 months after the game launched.
But why? But you're selling that DLC day one. I mean, you could just start selling it down the road when you start getting it in order.
Yeah,
like people.
I don't know. From a business perspective, you gotta grab the cash as soon as you can, especially if you're Ubisoft. They're grabbing for all the cash.
If you know you're gonna do it, why not grab the money? I agree with that.
I wonder how well. I mean, how well it sold the DLC.
Probably terrible.
I just can't imagine a lot of people playing this. I just don't, honestly.
I hope it does because I like Mario and Rabbids. I hope we get another one.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah, it's not a hope thing.
I mean, I played the whole game. I mean, 100% it, but I did a lot.
Contrast this with Fire Emblem Engage, where all the DLC was done within like a couple months.
Got it. No issues at all over here. We're totally good.
It's smooth.
Don't even worry about it. We love Mario.
This is why I don't have a swivel chair in the closet.
This is actually a nice. I'm sitting in Drew's normal chair right now. It's comfy.
It's a great chair.
It's just like a nice degree of angle, like 25% angle.
It has like a nice ass posture.
It does.
It has a fat ass, so it's like it's nice for that. So I'm showing a little too much lights here. I'm sorry.
It's fine. It's fine.
But you're right. If you like lean back and really get your ass into it,
yeah, it's just like I feel like I fit well. I fit well in this chair.
I'm glad.
It's good.
I'm happy.
Perfect.
That's why I wanted to. At first I was like, should I give him the swivel? Should I? I was like, let him experience how I experience every night.
I can't say I don't love it. Can't say that I don't
have
love
some
it.
of my salty nuts. John, what do we have next?
We've got Detective Pikachu 2, which was teased. I don't think we know anything about it, but there's going to be a second movie.
I mean, I didn't know this until this second. Shows how much prep I do, but is this like when did this happen?
A couple weeks ago, I think. No, yeah, it was right after our last show.
Is there a trailer? Who announced it?
There's no trailer. It was a graphic.
Any more deets?
No deets.
Let me go on images here.
I'm excited for it, though.
What's the graphic look like?
I remember it's just Detective Pikachu with the number 2 behind him. It's as creative as you can imagine.
Not seeing it. I'll take your word
I remember
for it,
when we watched this in theaters, I said this is my favorite video game based movie.
I'll tell you what. I really enjoyed this movie. I watched it a long time ago before when it came out, and I wasn't a Pokemon fan. And now that I'm a fan. Yeah, I'm a fan. I'm a Pokemon fan. It's fun. It's an enjoyable movie. I think the animation / art style is phenomenal. I won't say amazing. I'm gonna say phenomenal. I'm not sure if that's higher or lower. Maybe a little bit lower, but it's solid. It's a solid Pokemon animation. Fun movie.
Yeah, it's good. I'm looking forward to it.
I'll go to the I would go to the theater to see this.
I haven't seen the first one. I gotta watch.
Oh my!
Who are you?
I'm not a Pokemon fan.
You haven't seen the first one? Wow.
I think there's a big
difference. I'll say it again.
Though.
I haven't seen the first one.
One more time.
If I've seen the first one, it's false. I have not seen the first one.
You have not seen the first movie.
I've not.
But you play Pokemon?
I play Pokemon. I've Pokemoned once or twice.
You've Pokemon, so you know the Pokemon.
I know the Pokemon.
But you haven't seen the Pokemon movie.
I haven't seen the Pokemon movie. I haven't seen this Pokemon movie.
You played Detective Pikachu, the video game.
No, definitely not.
Yeah, that'd be
it's terrible.
Is it?
It's a bad game.
I bet you have the amiibo though.
Oh yeah, I have the amiibo.
Oh yeah,
the giant Detective Pikachu.
It's not even a question. He's like, oh yeah, are you kidding me? Of course.
You have every amiibo ever came out, John.
I have all the North American ones. Yeah.
I'm not sure what that means, but I'll take your word for it.
Well, all the ones that were released in this country.
Well, I know what it means.
North
I don't know
America
what it means.
is like Canada.
Yeah, but like I don't know like which ones came out in Japan and didn't come out.
There were some Monster Hunter ones that came out in Japan before we got Monster Hunter ones. They're actually really cool and they're detachable. And then there was a
wait, what do you mean? They're detachable?
I'm not sure what that means.
So
either.
from the base or from each other?
There's the monster, and then there's a dragon. It was for what was the
Dragon sounds like a monster.
Not Monster Hunter. What's the RPG game with Monster Hunter? Why am I forgetting the name of it?
Stories?
Monster Hunter Stories.
Wow. Fuck yeah.
That was pretty good.
There's not often I get something and John doesn't know it.
I gotta say, I'm impressed. Must be the nuts.
So it had all the monsters, and then it had the riders, but you could take the riders off and put them on different monsters.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
And then you remember the game remember the Box Boy game on 3DS?
I'm not sure what the fuck that is.
Box Boy? Yeah.
Oh,
there he is, Box Boy, right there.
No, that's the game from the calculator T89 back in the day. What was that game called?
T89.
You're a little bit younger than me. I was a TI-83 guy.
Maybe it was 83. Well, you know the bots? No?
You play Drug Wars.
Everybody 1-2 Switch is coming out June 30th for $29.99. This game had been rumored, and it's coming out, and it looks amazing. We haven't actually seen any footage of it.
Hold on. Does it look amazing, John? Are you going to play this? Are you buying this?
We don't know anything about this game. Let's not...
John Chumbara for 4,000 hours. Do you think he's going to get this?
Fair point.
Yes.
I'm absolutely getting this. I enjoy 1-2 Switch if you play it with the right people. It's still playable.
Let's rewind for a second. Hambone, before John answers this question, how many days have passed since John has booted up Wii Sports?
I'm going to say 16 days.
Oh, I'm going under.
You're going under?
I'm going like 4.
Only because of Tears of the Kingdom. I think he's been focused there.
I know, John.
I think he's chumbarred once or twice.
John?
It has been 7 years since I played Wii Sports. You mean Switch Sports?
What did I say?
I don't know. The sports game.
But he's
really
an asshole. He knew what I meant. Okay.
It's been longer than 2 weeks. I haven't. No, last time I booted it up is when I did the video.
I did tell John I watched his video on that.
See? He watched it.
I did. Me and Owen, we watched that.
What'd you watch?
John's, I got all the Burger Gang gear.
Was that in the Dads After Dark channel?
No, he posted on
it's on the YouTube, on our YouTube channel.
On YouTube. On your own YouTube that you don't have the login to.
Let's see.
I am a terrible host. Let's look.
That was a month ago.
That was like, I was going to say 5 weeks ago.
That's right. John doesn't give me the passwords for only certain things. YouTube. No, I don't fucking have a YouTube password.
Terrible.
He doesn't give me that.
You don't have the YouTube password?
It's not our channel.
What are you going to post on there?
We could have made content today.
Could have.
You can post your movie on there. That would be cool.
I don't know how to do that. I'm not good at that. My movie's on a DVD. We should have watched that tonight. No, we gotta save that.
We got to save that for August.
Yeah. I can't find this stupid bots game that I'm talking about either.
Box Boy?
Anyways. No.
Are you looking for Box Boy?
It's a calculator.
John, while Drew's Googling TI-83 calculators, I would like you to tell me why in the hell are you buying Everybody 1-2 Switch? What is the appeal here for you?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I enjoyed 1-2 Switch. I had some issues with it, but I had fun. The kids have fun with it. We haven't played it in a long time. Don't get me wrong. But I'm just excited for this one. I just want to see what they did with it and what lessons they learned. But we don't know much. The one thing that I don't like is that you see people holding cell phones, and I've heard there's some Jackbox type element. So I don't think we know what this is, but we are planning a party here in Denver for June 30th, guys. So you're invited if you can make it out here.
Switch them up.
Yeah, Kevin and I are doing a party.
Maybe we don't even need to be there if it's cell phones.
That's a good point.
Maybe we can join from Connecticut and Rhode Island respectively.
It comes out on a Friday. We're gonna have a party that night. We're gonna play Everybody 1-2 Switch. Nobody can look at it until that night, which I don't think will be a problem. And some Mario Kart and whatever. So hopefully we enjoy it and have fun with it. We'll see.
I wish you the best, sir.
New pastel Joy-Cons also coming out June 30th.
These are something no one asked for.
What?
Did you see the graphic with the pink and yellow looking like SpongeBob and Patrick?
That was not my first thought.
I did not see that.
I mean, what do you think? You picking these up?
John's buying these. John's buying one set, guaranteed.
I know. I don't want to, but I have a feeling I'll end up.
He wants the boxes.
No, I throw the boxes away. I don't keep those boxes. It's going to be hard to resist, but I don't love them either.
I would have. I want purple yellow.
I was going to say I like the green one better with the. Oh yeah, purple yellow, but you can get
green pink is better. I don't like the They do this on purpose.
I think purple pink would have made more sense together, and then yellow green would have gone together. But the pastels, I don't get it. What is the deal here?
Why can't they drop? I'm still on the fence about $80.
They've always been $80.
I know, but come on, 7 years. Fucking drop the price.
They still have drift,
and they all suck.
If you had to buy one set, which would you pick?
The green.
Because I'm purple green.
Purple. I'm purple green.
Yeah.
You know what?
I don't purple
me off,
green.
though? Why won't they sell the Zelda Joy-Cons separate that came out on the Switch? Like that would be
they
cool.
Want you to because there's people
they
like
want you to buy the
people
fucking
like
Switch.
Zablant that buys the fucking Switch just for the Joy-Cons.
It's bullshit. I'll tell you that much.
Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah, they did sell the Skyward Sword one separate, but they didn't have a Switch, right?
But they didn't have the Switch.
What's happening?
Yeah, I'm trying to think if they sold the Splatoon one separate. Those were in a bundle. Yeah, I don't know why they do what they do, but
it's terrible.
We'll see. Now that I've seen SpongeBob and Patrick, though, I think I kind of like the pink and yellow.
Yeah.
SpongeBob.
I'll just visualize SpongeBob and call it a SpongeBob Switch.
I'm not seeing it.
Patrick and SpongeBob.
Yeah, the colors.
But it's a stretch.
What about Gary?
Who's Gary? Gary's green, isn't he?
I don't know.
Wait, who's Gary?
The snail dude, right?
Oh, I'm thinking Squidward.
Squidward.
Typing out like an angle here. What color would he? I mean, every picture is.
He's all the colors.
So I just did all the Joy-Cons and called them Gary-Cons.
Gary-Cons.
Isn't Gary purple and green?
And yellow.
Gary's every color.
Gary's all the colors
combined.
He can't be all the colors.
He's
got purple, pink, yellow,
he's blue,
green, yeah.
green,
every color,
red. What is this? Pink? What color is that? What would you say?
Coral.
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 Yeah. Coral's a great color.
Coral. They did coral light.
Yellow.
It's time to talk about what we've been playing.
Well, we know one game that we've all been playing quite a lot, but let's talk before about other games we're playing. Hambone, you are our guest.
Oh.
What have you been playing?
Thank you, sir. So I've got a couple games aside from Tears of the Kingdom that I've been playing. The first of which is The Last of Us Part 2.
Yes.
I started that sucker a couple nights ago. I am about 3 hours in, so I've seen some significant story beats thus far. I'm loving it. I'm very much focused on Tears of the Kingdom, so I'm not like all in on Last of Us quite yet. But I first played Last of Us in September when the remaster came out for Part 1. And I've kind of had Part 2 installed for quite some time. Haven't gotten into it until now, and I'm loving it so far. Ellie obviously is a great character, and I'm excited to see where her story goes. Although it is a lot heavier than Tears of the Kingdom, so like I feel like I need to get myself in the right mindset to experience that story. Like I've said, so far 3 hours in, I don't want to spoil anything. I know it's still, I don't want to say it's a new game, but I think there's a lot of people out there, especially those who just watched the show and haven't played the games, right? I don't want to kind of spoil a lot of stuff. So
I would say don't worry about spoilers, except for some of the big story beats.
Yeah, right. I just saw one of the big spoilers like last night or a night and a half ago before I played it. Yeah, pretty brutal.
I've been like trying to get you to play Last of Us 2 because that is a game that can easily get spoiled, and it's worth playing. Because I would tell you play Last of Us 2 first because the other game won't get spoiled, but that one can.
Yes. So my plan is to finish this one up before Final Fantasy 16 comes out at the end of the month. So I've got like 2 or 3 weeks.
You're a Final Fantasy guy?
Some Final Fantasy. So I'm in on 16. I played Remake 7. Final Fantasy 10 is probably my favorite of the classic ones.
All right, you're in. Just the answer you just gave me, you're a Final Fantasy guy.
Yeah, I'm a Final Fantasy. I haven't played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but I've played.
You haven't played 1 or 2, but you're a Final Fantasy fan?
Yeah.
Well, you could play on your iPhone.
Before he was born.
Come on, 84. I've been around. I'm older than Drew. Come on.
He is older than Drew.
So my plan is to finish that up, Last of Us 2, before July, was it 22nd? Final Fantasy comes out. So,
is that July? I thought it was June. Oh, it's July?
Oh, June. Oh, no, you're right. June. Okay. Sorry. I've had too many beers. And the other game I played a little bit of, I've already deleted it, was Trackmania. Trackmania on PlayStation. That was, it's like a kind of F1 type of arcade racer. Yeah, I played it for 25 minutes. It was pretty fun, free to play.
Should have been that fun.
Yeah, it was fun for 15 minutes, and I deleted it. I can't say much else. It was all right.
Didn't like it, or
it just didn't grab me. I played 2 races, and the second race course kind of was boring to me, so I deleted it. And I said, if I'm going to play PlayStation, I'm playing Last of Us. So that's where I'm at.
Nice.
And I will save my Tears of the Kingdom comment for later.
Makes sense.
Okay. I'll go first. No. And here's a game that Hambo didn't talk about. I played Lake.
Oh, I have to get
this is I played Lake. Lake was the last game I played on Game Pass. And then I think the next day I bought my PlayStation 5. So Lake has that sort of thing going for it. It was one of the games that broke me. And it was just the most horrible gaming experience that I ever had. And I was a couple months ago, it came out on PS Plus.
Last month.
Yeah, it was like a free game on PS Plus. And I was like, I got to play it, right? So yeah, I just decided, I knew it wasn't a very long game. Let me just play through it. And I played it through to the end. And if you've ever played this game, the first time I played, I did a couple days, but I think there's about 11 days in the game, and it is as brutal as I thought. It is terrible. What day did you get to, Hambone?
I'm at day 1. I'm on day 1. I haven't continued. I gotta say, John, Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart comes out on PS Plus. One of the best, most visually appealing PlayStation games. and John says, you know what? I'm going to play Lake.
I want to play Lake.
Props to you, my friend.
Lake was I think it's about 5 hours, 6 hours, maybe, if you just go through efficiently.
It was like,
but like, it is just the worst game. And you play through like the first day or 2, and it's just delivering packages. And I quit the game the first time because day 3 started and it was delivering packages again.
Is it all delivering packages pretty much the whole time?
There's storyline to it. And I think the delivering of packages is just a way to get you around the town and create these storylines.
All right.
But it's such a boring mechanic. Even the storylines itself, they're not great, but at least they give you something interesting. You can make choices in the dialogue and, whatever. But my gosh, the delivering of packages is the most boring thing in the world. And you have to do it day after day after day after day. It's gruesome. So I think this is probably the worst game I ever played now. I can officially say, and I beat it, so I can say it fairly. And that's it. I challenge you to plat it. Go for it.
You know what?
Don't challenge him.
Game on. Fucking plat happening. Dude, sorry.
Go plat it. Fucking Peppa Pig.
You got it.
Plat the Peppa Pig.
Peppa Pig was better than Lake. Trust me.
What was that video you posted, John? It was like you with the mail truck upside down, just on the road. I was like, I'm like sick dark side grind, my friend.
I know. I was not aware the game was so buggy. It is pretty buggy.
Yeah, that sucks.
It was pretty buggy. Nothing game breaking, but one time I had to reboot after I did the tutorial. I had to reboot and I had to start the whole game again because the game got stuck. So it's a little buggy. I also, what's that?
Hambo's getting the inside info of what I usually do while you talk about your games, and he's getting in some high open.
This is great. This is awesome. It's fun. Snake skin bathing suit is awesome.
I also started playing Splatoon 3 again.
No, you haven't. That's a lie.
Well, the new season started June 1st, and so I'm doing the Dylan system, which is play at least one. You have to win one match a day. that gives you a big experience bonus for the first win that you get each day. Yeah, the first match you win, either Salmon Run or Turf War, you get a bonus. So if you just play and win one a day, then you can really fill out your catalog. But I'm playing a little bit more than that, but I'm trying to make sure I at least do that in a day.
I'll jump on and play with you.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun.
I like doing the.
I stink at it. I'm still trying to find a weapon.
I'm not good. What are you looking at?
And then I'm replaying the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles, Part 1. I played that, I think, 2 years ago. I can't remember when it came out.
Is this Phoenix Wright, or is this not Phoenix Wright games?
It's the Ace Attorney series, but yeah, it's the Phoenix Wright games. There's no Phoenix Wright in this one. It's a really good one. So both games were ported from 3DS to Switch for the first time. And it looks really good on Switch. It looks great. The animations are fantastic. And I enjoyed the first game. A little chatty. I think I'm just changing as a gamer. But it was good. But I never got to the second game. And it's a continuous storyline across all 10 cases. And so the thing that has really stopped me from playing Part 2 is that it's been a while since I played Part 1, and I felt like I had to replay it. And so I am just sitting down and replaying the first one to go right into Part 2. So I'm more excited to get to Part 2. But I'm doing one case at a time. So I'm up to case 4 now. I'm going to try to finish that by tomorrow. But it's really good. It's a really good game. I can't wait to play Part 2. But the big game I've been playing this week is Street Fighter 6. Came out a couple days ago.
Yes.
I'm excited about this.
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
On our PlayStation Dads episode, I said, John, you're going to create this blue hair girl with the big boobs.
You weren't far off.
And everything.
Purple hair.
And then you post your guy, John, and it's purple hair with the big boobs and
tattoos.
Whatever. And you're like, nah.
But didn't you say tattoos too?
With the tattoos, she's going to be like, yeah. So tell us about your character, John, please.
It's fantastic. No, so I created my character in the campaign mode, which is great. I'll get into a little bit, but you have to create your character. It took me about 15 minutes, and they have some like pre-generated random characters. I think they're random characters. And like this girl had like blended hair, and I was like, oh, so I kind of built off that one, and I didn't change her too much. But in the end, I realized she looks like Lara Croft. Like I just basically made Lara Croft. I wish you could do a British accent. I should look into see if you can do that. She's like skinny, a little bit tall. The boobs are a little too big. I like in hindsight, her stomach is super flat.
Hold on.
Whoa,
time out. Why are they too big?
Because she doesn't look like a real human. It's just like weird looking. But it costs you 1,000 of in-game currency to change so I haven't changed
the breast size.
That would be great.
Yeah, she looks top
heavy.
You
want bigger boobs? $1,000.
$1,000, please. That's pretty much real life.
But it's fantastic. I got the game, and so Cedric and I can play against each other. I just thought it'd be fun. Like my brother-in-law comes over, maybe we can play some Street Fighter or whatever. And I haven't really played Street Fighter since Street Fighter 2, and really enjoyed playing it. I'm still trying to figure out who my main character is going to be. There is, I think, Jury. I think is. I thought I was going to just choose Cammy because she just looked the coolest. But what is her name? Her name is it Junli? It is Jury. It is Jury.
Have you tried all the characters? Have you tried them all?
Almost. I think I've tried almost all the characters, or I've seen Cedric do them all.
Great stuff about this game.
Really?
It sounds super fun.
Is this is this a game for you or no?
No.
You played MLB The Show, so maybe
it's for me. Yes,
I know.
Whatever that is
this is not my genre. I really don't play fighting games because
I'm excited for you.
You got to be dedicated.
Really
So John messaged me about a week ago and said Street Fighter 6 or Diablo 4, and I'm like, John, I've known you for years. Like, you've never once expressed any interest in a fighting game. Like,
I told him he should get Diablo.
I said Diablo is for you. Like, that's,
honestly,
that's
John,
you.
Drew, I feel like you ruined this for John. I feel like if you had a next-gen console and he would have
played
Diablo with you. But you ruined this for him, so now he's a Street Fighter.
I'm sorry. Maybe if it was on Luna. It's funny. Hambone and I were setting up in the room today, and I turned the TV on. What was the first thing on the TV?
Fortnite on Luna.
Fortnite on Luna. That was like the main ad on my TV.
On the top, man.
It's time.
It's Luna time.
It's Luna time.
No, but it's fun. Cedric and I started playing. We really didn't know how to play. They will kick you into a tutorial right away when you start playing, and I think it's Ryu is sort of teaching you how to play, and you're Luke. And there's like different concepts and stuff like that. Last time I played, you had the health meter, and that was it. There was no specials, no anything.
Sure.
And now there's special attacks and the new thing, which is like the drive system. It's just, there's a lot to it. But the thing that I find the most fun is that there's modern controls. And if you remember back to like, when did everybody play Street Fighter at home? Like, obviously
Super
in the
Nintendo.
arcade, you got 6 buttons and a joystick.
There you
That's
go.
the way Street Fighter gets played. But on Super Nintendo, you have 4 face buttons, then you have the 2 shoulder buttons, right? Genesis had 3 buttons if you didn't have the 6-button controller. The home controllers always had a problem playing with it. And I remember the default controls on SNES, the trigger buttons were the heavy attack. And I hated that because they were uncomfortable. So I would remap it to heavy and light just on the controller. Let's be honest, I always just use heavy attacks. And so they have modern controls now, which is really nice because playing on a PlayStation 5 controller is even worse than the systems that had the D-pads. And so modern controls are like circle is heavy, X is medium, square is light. And then you just hit the triangle button for your special. So like if you're playing as Ryu, right? When you're doing a Hadouken, you just press triangle and he just does the Hadouken. It's so much easier that it's kind of like the challenge of it. When you would play your friends, the challenge was who could do the controls the best and most accurate. Now it's really about strategy, like when you do the moves and how quick you react, but it's not necessarily about the difficulty of the controls.
Really? Okay.
Yeah,
That's
they do still have
interesting.
classic controls. So you can use the classic controls. But the modern is just, I feel like I'm enjoying the modern. I'm playing the campaign mode and I'm playing against humans. I'll play a little bit online against some people on the Discord eventually.
Okay.
But it's like I don't need to have the classic controls, and it's really hard to do them on the PlayStation controller.
That makes sense. Yeah.
So the modern's just more enjoyable.
The modern looks like actually really fun, right? It's just like a certain button, and then it's a direction, and then the special button to do the special move. That's awesome.
To do like a special attack, it's like triangle and circle, and then a direction. That's it.
Is there blocking in the game, or is it all really just okay?
The blocking's the same as it used to be. The new system is the drive system. You can do drive parry and drive impact, and I won't get into like the rules behind them, but they really do kind of shake up the game, and it makes it interesting to play. So Cedric and I have gotten better and better and better, and like our fights are just going faster. We're not just like staying away. We were at each other and countering and all that stuff. So
that's cool, man.
It's a lot of fun.
It looks super fun. I mean, the art style of this game, the color splashes, like the whole style of everything just looks like really, really awesome, and it's reviewed great. So I'm loving that you're having a good time. And I will say this year I kind of dove into first-person shooters a bit. Far Cry and a couple other games here and there, but like I love branching out outside of genres that you're used to, and I think it's like every once in a while it's kind of refreshing to do that. So I'm loving that you're enjoying Street Fighter. That's really cool, John.
Yeah. I'm happy for you. I'm shocked too, but I'm happy for you.
I'm surprised because I told Hambone just last week, right? I was like, you know what? I think I decided I'm going to do Diablo 4. And I just, you know what it is about Diablo? The thing about Diablo is it's just a time investment, right? If you're going to play Diablo 4, you're just going to have to fight.
But what if we all get Diablo? Like, would that be fun? If like
it would be
like
more
the more
fun.
the more the
five
better.
of us like got on Diablo,
right?
I think that would...
But even when Drew and I played, like we weren't even talking about what we were doing in the game. We would just be chatting.
It's kind of like
while you're just hitting the A button over and over and over and over again. Like another 1,000 enemies come out.
Yeah, we weren't planning. It wasn't World of Warcraft style planning raids, and it was
just like button masher.
Yeah,
it really is until you
really,
die, and then you're like, oh, I have to think about it now.
I think the difference is from all the Diablos I played, and I can't speak for Diablo 4, it is self-contained player, right? There's not World of Warcraft style where you need the healer, you need the tank, you need and maybe we weren't at a high enough level, John, in Diablo, but it was very self-sustained healing, self-sustained damage, self-sustained chitin. It was all you do it yourself type thing.
Right,
And that's
until we
fine.
died.
There's
Yeah,
nothing wrong with that.
No, well, I mean, yeah, but like, I just didn't want to get into that again. And I think one thing was I had played Diablo 3 on the PC on the Mac years before we played. And then when we played, I just didn't do the campaign because I thought the campaign was really boring. And then it's like, well, if I play Diablo 4, I'm going to go through the campaign and just go from there, you know? So it just became, it's just, you know what? I can jump into Street Fighter, play a little bit, jump out, and it's great. So the campaign mode is really kind of addicting and fun, although it's one of those things where I might get really tired of fighting over and over and over again. But it's great. You walk around this city and you can fight anybody. So I walked past a mime and then I just decided to fight the mime. And then there you go. You're like fighting the mime. There's Roombas, there's like big dudes, little dudes, like old ladies, and you can just fight anyone you want.
Old ladies?
Yeah, and then you just grind up, like you just level up. So you get, it's just so great. And when you fight somebody, you get some money and whatever. It's fantastic. You can find like hidden chests, and you can find money on the floor. It's got a story. It's obviously not going to be anything fantastic, but it's really fun. It's fun to sit down and do a bunch of fights and whatever. Nice. And then you meet some of the characters from Street Fighter, and then you can inherit their moves. So like, after the first guy, Luke, you meet Chun-Li, and then you can assign her moves to your special list. And what's neat about it is you have a different level for each of the fighters. So when I could then use Chun-Li, I was level 1. And so her moves weren't as powerful. But if I kept her assigned to myself as that is my style, then I level up my Chun-Li, and then those moves have that power too. So you want to like switch between them if you want a balanced fighter, or you can just pick one fighter and just use that the whole game if you want to. You can play it however you want.
That's cool.
But it's a lot of fun. And then you use your skill points, and you can make your punches stronger and your kicks stronger, and you can really kind of customize your character. So it's great. It's a lot of fun. I kind of look forward to playing through that.
Nice.
Awesome.
That's all I've been playing. Drew.
So I believe it or not, John, I know you were a doubter. Disney Speedstorm is still on my radar. I'm still jumping in. I was wrapping up the last season 1, which was Monsters Incorporated. I have not started it yet because I've been balls deep into Tears of the Kingdom. But season 2 of Disney Speedstorm has started, and it is Toy Story. Toy Story is the new season that they're going with. So new characters, tracks, new battle pass, whatever you want to call it, et cetera, et cetera. So I'm going to jump in on this. I'll probably jump in on it maybe this week.
How long are the seasons?
Pretty long, 30 days, I want to say. 30 days. When did the game come out? Because that was one season.
I don't know. You bought it.
Heck, a month ago.
I'd say about a month ago.
Yeah.
Maybe longer, because I've been playing. I was playing it for a while
It's
before
like April
Tears.
18th.
April 18th. So maybe it's 2 months and a half.
Yeah,
about a month
days
and a
a
half.
season. That sounds pretty good.
It was good. Like I said, I'm enjoying this game. It's not a Mario Kart replica, but if Mario Kart did something like this, I'd still be playing Mario Kart. Just saying. I think it keeps that extra little. It's that concept of the Mario Kart mobile app, which we all kind of don't love. Let's put it that. But to be blunt, but it's the concept of how it entices you to keep playing and to keep unlocking things, and it's fun. I'm enjoying it. But I'm going to jump into Toy Story and try to unlock the new characters and level them up and go from there. What I like about it is when they do the new seasons, there's tons of new things with the seasons, but they do like the storyline of the season, and they only unlock like chapter 1 of the storyline for 5 days. So you can try to max out chapter 1, but you can't have somebody that just blows through the entire storyline of that season in one day, because only every 5 days is the new chapter until
cool.
The season's over.
It paces you a little bit.
It paces it, which is kind of cool. So it's hard for someone to like get a Buzz Lightyear, for example, max level day 1. Like it's not really possible. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's fun.
Sweet.
That's all I've been playing. Besides,
what if you come in on like day 10? Like, could you do part 1 and part 2? Or
oh yeah, you can. All of them are unlocked, so you can start at 1 and go all. If you wanted to put 10 hours into it, yeah, you could catch up.
You don't have to play the entire time, but like if you take a week or 2 break, you can still get all the stuff you could.
Correct.
For the stuff. That's cool.
Yep. Yeah, and they have daily events where, like, you have 4 races, and then 4 races isn't long. So it was Mario Kart. You have 4 races you can play and unlock stuff. And then tomorrow you'll get 4 more races unlocked to try to unlock the stuff. So they do a good job at pacing it versus just like dumping it on top of you. Yeah, that's it. That's all I've been playing besides Zelda.
Okay. Let's talk about Tears of the Kingdom. I don't know if we should get too deep because we have some questions to answer later about it.
Yeah, I think the questions answer a lot.
Where are you at with Tears of the Kingdom, and how do you feel after since 2 weeks ago? How are you feeling about Tears of the Kingdom?
Yeah, so I did all 4 areas. Let me rephrase it this way without spoiling anything. I'm in after the 4 areas. I've done enough after that, John, where it sends you to the depths. If you're familiar with what I'm saying, that's where I'm at in the game. I don't think that's really spoiling anything.
That's perfect.
That's where I'm at. As far as my feelings go, I feel pretty strongly the same. We have some questions that didn't guide us, like you said. I don't think I want to talk too about it, but I'm still I haven't lost interest. I'm just over 100 hours, so I haven't lost interest. We'll leave it at that, and I think some of the questions will guide into my feelings towards it. How about you?
And Hambone and I have played a lot of it.
Yes, sir.
But it's funny. I mean, Hambone's only like 10 or 15 hours wise ahead of me. Obviously, I've been too busy collecting armor.
My armor game is like super weak compared to Drew, I will say. I'm like a little weak ass bitch over here compared to Drew and his armor. But yes.
But you don't need the armor.
I don't need it, but like, do you want it? Of course you do. Of course you do.
I don't understand, Drew, how you upgrade like all your armor, because like some of those armors require like tons of amber and that sort of thing.
We'll talk about it. I think there's a question there.
I think there is. Yeah, I rolled credits on it, and I've been going in and out. I keep thinking that I'm like faded. I'm 140 hours in. And
wow, 140?
That's
Jesus
more than
Christ.
You've worked. No, we're not that far off.
Yeah, I'm 110
you're
hours.
at 100 plus. It's
40 hours.
Fantastic. But yeah, I keep thinking I'm going to fade on it, and then there's some things that I want to do, and I jump back in, and then I play for like 3 hours. At this point, though, I am stepping away from it.
Wow.
I got all the shrines. I got all the roots. And
wow.
I've been working on, earlier today, during the entire Mets game that we lost, was working on quests. Like, not just like finishing quests, but trying to find them, because there's a lot of quests in this game. I'm up to 70 side quests finished, but that's halfway.
That's incredible.
That's halfway.
Yeah, I think I have 20 quests.
But the problem is you don't know where they are.
You don't know where they are.
It's not like you can easily.
And they're all shitty. I will say all the side quests are kind of shitty, John.
Yeah.
Like,
so some of them definitely are. They're like, some of the side quests are like, I just need like 2 bananas.
Fish.
Yeah,
give me
exactly.
A fish.
Yeah,
like,
and you already have it.
Why are you even like? That's. I mean, I understand it because you're getting some rupees and whatever from a game perspective, but like, I do not feel the draw to like finish all 140 or 139 side quests.
No,
it's a number.
So that's my fear. I'm in the current mode of like striving towards completion of the storyline of the game, rolling credits per se. But I fear once I do that, what's my incentive for the rest of the game?
Shrines.
I think
that's kind of where I'm at right now. Is the shrines.
What's your incentive?
So I've done all the light routes. I've done all the memories. I am at 132 shrines. So I've got like 20 more to go. I've done all the sky shrines, so I know I've got my 32 up there.
Those were hard to find.
They were pretty hard to find, but I will say if you look for the cross islands, like the islands that look like an X, but have like that circle in the middle where they have the 45-degree like stone launcher thing, I guess I'll call it, where you can like rotate it. There's shrines there every single time, and most of them are the shrine quests where you have to bring the crystal back, whether it's you have to beat one of the constructs, or you have to like find it in like another island that's like behind some sort of whatever. Skybike is where it's at to like knock those out, honestly.
So you use your Skybike in the sky.
Sky in the sky.
And in the depths.
End of the day. And in the depths.
Does the Skybike let you move that crystal? Because I found it would be too heavy.
You have to put an extra fan on the back tire.
Oh, okay.
back fan. And then you have enough juice to move the crystal.
Okay.
But that's kind of where I'm at too. So my end goal in this game is to finish all the side adventures and the shrines. And I've already got the light routes, so it's like whatever.
That is the tricky thing with the side adventures, because I agree with you. I like the side adventures.
Yeah, I feel
right
like those
now I have none left, and there's still 20 that I need to find. Or 19.
I still have not been to Hatena Village yet.
Stop.
Oh wow.
Well, I've been there to get the shrine, but then I was like peaced out. So I haven't dyed my glider. I haven't done the mayor quest. I haven't done any of that stuff.
Well, you saw I dyed a bunch of my armor already.
Did. Yeah, so I know I at least have like 3 or 4 over there to like do, but I don't know where the other 10 side adventures are.
And that's the problem. Like without a strategy guide, like how do you even know?
I'm going to be on full on.
You can look online.
Yeah, but John, for your shrines, did you have to look at a guide for the last like 20 or so?
The last 5. I did not want to look them up. I wanted to try to find them, especially because the land ones match up with the light routes.
The routes, yeah.
But the last 5, it didn't pick up on the radar. So there was 3 in the sky I couldn't find because like in the sky, those big like Death Star looking globes.
Oh yeah.
And like, there's like 4 of them. And so I would see one and be like, no, I already did that. And then it turned out, no, there was a different one with something different in it. And the radar didn't go off because I would just fly through the sky and try to see what would spark the radar. So that's why I missed those. And then, like I said, it looks like everything else. So it was a little frustrating, but they were fun. And then the land ones, there was like one that was connected to a route, but the radar didn't go off. So I was confused by that again. So yeah, I had to look up 5 at the end, but I feel pretty good because I think I stopped at 80 out of 120 in Breath of the Wild before I used a guide.
I will say
really far.
The whole thing with the light routes now, and some people like love or hate the depths or whatever, but I really appreciate the ability to look at the depths map. And if you have all the light routes, be able to flip the map to the surface to be like, all right, well, there is a shrine here. Yeah, like I know, like Breath of the Wild, I was lost for some of those. Absolutely had to use a guide.
Yeah, I think that's the difference, though. Like John just said, he only got 80 something in Breath of the Wild, where you have the depths to try to help.
Yeah, so I think it's you. I really appreciate the ability to kind of like cross reference that. I think that's pretty cool. I like
and vice versa. If you want to find it, if you're down there and you want to find the light routes, you look at the shrines. Yeah, I did enjoy that, and the sky is great. The sky is a lot of fun. It does feel a little sparse, but there's 32 shrines up there. So it's kind of
go up there with like 6, 7, or 8 batteries that you're fine.
Yeah.
And just go bop around with like a sky bike or whatever kind of other creation you want. Like, I think
the first thing I had Hambone do when he came over to my house today was create a sky bike for me, John. A legit one. Because mine,
it was pretty good.
Hung a little to the left.
Yeah, a little bit, but it's okay.
Had to fix it. He fixed it for me.
Did you put it in the auto build?
Of course.
I did.
Okay.
Favorited that sucker.
Yeah, so I'm definitely, I gave the cartridge to my son. He wants to play it because his friend is playing it. So I'm kind of off it for a little bit. I'll come back and look for more quests and everything, but I'm just burnt out right now. So I'm just going to play some other stuff.
That's a good idea. Like you got half the quests left. Like you got some of the side adventures left. When DLC comes out, when the DLC comes out, you'll be able to like go and kind of explore the game and like experience it some more. I think you stopped at a good point. I think you beat it.
And I swear I have 20. I'm looking at it now. I have 29 shrine quests out of 31, but I did all the shrines.
That's weird.
That's weird. And I know I did all the shrines because you get something if you do all the shrines, and it's pretty cool. It is worth it. And just to give a little hint, it's something Drew would really like.
It's cashews.
Just gonna.
Let me ask this question without spoiling anything.
But wait a minute. Why am I missing 2 shrine quests?
That's fucking weird.
But when you complete the last shrine, does it just give it to you, or do you have to go somewhere? Does it tell you to go somewhere?
They direct you somewhere.
Okay, so it says like, hey, you completed all the shrines, blah, blah,
That's
blah.
why I'm saying I know I did all the shrines. Like, I know I did.
Weird.
So that's weird. I gotta look it up. Maybe the number's just wrong. Maybe I just got to look it up.
Right.
But yeah, I'm off of it for now.
Sweet. Shall we move on, John?
Let's move on to what do you think? What do you think, boys, about the Ted Lasso finale? It is the season, not the season finale, the series finale.
Is it confirmed it's the series finale?
I think
very much so. Yes, it is. It's done. Jason Sudeikis said that they had this plan the whole time, and they're done.
Here's the first thing I'll say. 3 seasons of any show, maybe 4, is the perfect number. I truly believe that. I think this was the perfect length for Ted Lasso. As much as I loved this show, let's not overstay your welcome. And I don't think it did.
I think it was right on the edge. It was so I think they ended it.
I, for one, loved the season finale. I thought it wrapped up all the storylines. It was fun. I will say, for all those non-football, like Europe football fans, it's very confusing. I'm not by any means a diehard football fan, but I understand a little bit about Premier Soccer and how that foundation works. And it's very confusing to begin with. Now throw it into the multimedia people where 98% of the people watching the show don't understand Premier Soccer. You
didn't need to, though.
You didn't, but it's also very confusing to understand. Like, did they win the championship? Did they what happened? Right? And I get it. It's not really about that, but it's also like you want to know. I
think they made jokes about that. But they're very self-aware.
So I think the little scene when they were in Ted's office and they made those jokes about like, let me understand this right. So we go to the Champions lead and the Championship lead and the Premier lead, and then we lose and we don't. So
it's confusing as shit. Yeah.
It is. So that part's a little confusing, but at the end of the day, it's fine because they won the game, but they lost. They didn't finish in first place. Like it was confusing, but overall, all of the individual character storylines, I loved it. I left like satisfied. Like I blew the load. I was good. I felt fulfilled, happy. How about you, John? I mean, did you feel that fulfillment?
I get what you're saying. I enjoyed the last episode. They did, try to get everyone had like a story. It had a sort of 6 feet under finale feeling where let's see where everybody went. We see where the Nigerian guy went and all that stuff. I was left a little unfulfilled because I felt like I enjoyed this show a lot. And like I said, I think season 3 was starting to grate on me a little bit. Like Ted Lasso's little jokes and whatever just didn't land anymore because I felt like I'm getting a little tired of them now. It's like, all right, enough. But a couple of things that I found weird was I felt like they were very much invested in being like, this is the finale of this great show. But the show was only a few seasons long. And at one point they referenced Cheers. When the lady in the bar adjusts the picture, that's right out of the end of Cheers. It's the same picture and everything. But I'm thinking like Cheers was an iconic. Watch it again. The bartender.
I don't know Cheers. I don't know Cheers.
Okay, so she adjusts the picture. No, I don't. I was not big into Cheers or whatever, but that was a reference to Cheers. But it's like Cheers was an iconic, like 10-year-long show or whatever. I just thought it was a little presumptuous. That wasn't the big thing though. The thing was, this is the finale of the show. Whatever. And I felt like they weren't really telling like a story. And when they did, it was this convoluted, they're going for the championship. So answer me this. Why didn't they just win? Like, why did they, when you watch NFL playoffs, right? And it's like, okay, the Patriots have to win and they need the Bills to lose and they'll get in the playoffs, right? That's like kind of what this was like. They needed to win and then another team had to lose. But that other team that had to lose was a team that we didn't really see in the show at all. So they did beat the dudes team. And that's great. Well, like, why not just make that like, and they won and they did it and Lasso retired. Why make it like they also lost? I don't know. It was weird.
Winning was never the point. Right.
Agreed.
I mean, that's what he said right along from the start.
Right.
He's like, winning is not the point of this, right? It's all about the character development and like the people who you are and who you become and whatever. And so I was all right with that. But I don't know. I had a problem with season 3 overall. I feel like, was it 12 episodes? I'd say 7 or 8 of the episodes were like, they felt like filler to me, to be honest. I felt
there was some season 2 episodes I felt like that. I thought
there was a few.
3 was better than 2.
Yeah. I don't know. I felt like at some point they were cashing in on the goodwill that they earned over the first 2 seasons. I really liked it. I won't like bash it too hard, but like, I don't know.
I was all set with the Keely stuff. I didn't need her storyline.
My issue with the season was I feel like they spread themselves too thin. I think the Nate storyline for a while was like too much.
Keely was too much.
The Keely thing with her girlfriend was like too much. I didn't feel I wanted to focus on Ted and the team.
But
you
know what it was?
It was just
the
like,
episodes were so long. They were hour and 10, hour and 15 minutes.
Too long.
They spread out way too much.
By doing that, they focused too much on those other storylines that they didn't need to.
I didn't love the finale, but I think the way that they crafted the story, I think the finale like was well done. You know?
Do you think that the Nathan storyline was good? Because at the end of season 2, he flips and he goes to the other team, and it is. I mean, that whole in between season 2 and 3 was like, oh, I'm so angry at this guy or whatever, and they were making him out to be this villain. I felt like season 3 just, I don't know, it didn't pay off to the way I wanted it to.
Yeah,
and then at the end he quits. I mean, what? Remember when he goes to the bar with the owner? Like, I feel like I was missing episodes. Did anybody get that feeling? He went to the bar with the owner.
I feel like he never fit in.
They wrote that a few ways, right? There was one episode where they were on a losing streak, and then all of a sudden, the very next episode, like, oh, we're on a 10-game winning streak or something. Like, they did a lot.
That was Richmond, right?
Yeah, Richmond. Yeah, they did a lot of that this season with like from last episode to this episode was like a month gap. They did do that.
Yeah.
Right, but I'm talking about with Nate, he was winning like every game.
Yeah. Because he's a good coach, but then he got invited to the bar with the owner, but the owner was kind of like a womanizer, and I think at that point he realized
he doesn't want to work for that person,
and he's like, you know what, I'm not in on this one. Like, I've got my girlfriend, I love her, or whatever.
Yeah, I think that was noticeable.
Yeah, I think that was, and then like there was the off the episode, like he quits, right, going into the
but when did he quit? Like, that's the question. Like,
you were too busy probably playing Street Fighter.
No, he didn't quit. The end of the episode, he walks out of the bar. He says, you know what? I need to go.
Was that going into episode 11 or whatever?
I think that's pretty much telling your boss you quit, John.
No, he was leaving the bar. Like, he wasn't quitting his job.
I think it's a metaphor saying,
it was just weird. Like, and then it was like insinuated he quit. And it was like, wait a minute, did I miss something? And it was like,
I just feel like they spread themselves out too much, and they did a sprint to the end when they didn't need to.
Well, I think it was very awkward in the last episode when the owner came out, whatever his name is, like on the field and pushed down the head coach, and then like they called him a wanker and stuff. That whole 5-minute scene was just weird. Like, that would never happen.
It wasn't normal.
It just felt so forced.
You know what? Besides all the storylines, the one concrete thing in the last episode that really bugged me was when we find out that Ted Lasso is quitting, which is again another thing. I was like, did I miss something? Because the cliffhanger of the previous episode was he was like he had to say something to the owner, and then it was like, oh, Ted Lasso's leaving. It's like, what? But here's the thing. No, because they didn't say it until
as soon as his mom showed up and said, your son misses you. That was like, he's done.
Yeah,
he has missed his son for 3 seasons, and we have watched him be tortured by that for 3 seasons.
I think it's different when you have someone else tell you that versus your mind telling you that.
I don't know. I feel like they should do a 4th season, to be honest with you.
But what, back home?
No, they can't do it now.
Women's Richmond team?
It's too late.
Like watching those last scenes where like the doctor was the Dr. Jack, whatever his name is like uninterested in the football. I thought like the wife was gonna like kick him to the curb and be like, "You're."
But
like,
did she?
shit. No, she didn't.
I think she did.
I think she did. That's the thing is they don't tell you he was going into the house.
But that's how 90% of season finales end nowadays. They want the audience to make that determination. I'm telling you, that's how Stranger Things is going to end. That's how all these shows end.
But they did this over and over where they're not giving you information and it's frustrating. But the thing that annoyed me the most about the finale was when the team on his last practice, right? You're thinking they're going to be sad or whatever. They did a musical number.
I fucking love that.
I loved it. Loved it.
No way.
That was awesome.
I mean, it was a funny scene on its own. But
they had the whole thing where they cried on the start of the game and everything. They showed the emotional fucking journey.
No, that was after. That was later.
Yes, it was after.
It was
but it was part of their journey. Like, hey, we love you. We're going to send you off. But
I loved it.
We're very emotional that you're leaving. Type of thing.
I felt like it should have been emotional on the last practice, and they're just like they're like rehearsing a musical number. It was weird.
It meant more when they played the game.
I loved it.
It meant more when they were about to play the game.
But I think that goes back to the confusing part from the Premier Soccer League. Like, how do you know it's your last practice?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because it's a league thing. It's not playoffs. Like, it's weird.
I don't think that was a big deal, but it was.
I don't know.
It was weird to have the whole they need another team to lose. And we didn't
I just
know.
liked the episode when they did mushrooms. I thought that was cool this season. That was pretty fun.
All right, let's move on, John. Anyways, let's change the pace. What size bra do you think Zelda wears?
I don't think she wears one.
I disagree.
She went back in time. Do you think they have them back then?
She introduced it.
Here's my thought. I think she's a C cup, but she wears a sports bra, so it's like a little bit more compressed.
Really? No, I'm going like a 34B.
Mm-hmm.
No. I think there at least she's got some little bit more she's working with, but like she's got to I'm an active girl
Because she's
I gotta
she's wearing
binders.
Yeah, I gotta hold it in here, so it's not.
I'm still going 34B.
I think that's a fair.
We're trying to avoid a T rating.
What's your thought, John?
I think it's a B. I'm not going to give a number because I don't know the numbers. It's hard to judge. But
I will say she's got a little bit more junk in the trunk there.
I like it.
A lot of those cutscenes where she's just, I don't know, she's got her hips sticking out a little bit.
Short hair versus long hair. What are you feeling?
I don't know. I like the short hair.
Really?
I like the short hair.
I prefer the long. I like the short, but I prefer the long.
I feel like she's more agile in this one. She's got more going on. She's one of the 6 sages.
I'm still not a fan of her voice.
I love her voice.
After Breath of the Wild, I don't think you can change it.
I don't disagree, but I
don't know why she's English.
That's my point.
Not sure.
What time?
Because she's like all the Xenoblade characters.
Sure. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
Link, find me.
All right.
Find me.
What do you got, John?
I have a question that I want to get into, and this is about duplication.
Oh, yeah.
Do you think they should have fixed the duplication glitch or just left it?
That's a real tough question.
You guys all duplicated, right?
I did.
I duplicated the shit out of stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie.
After I beat the game
for your armor.
After I beat the game, I duped some diamonds. That was about it.
So let's talk about this for a second, because the game itself, from a resource
economy.
That's the word I was looking for. From an economy point of view, is so broken, and I can tell you why. Because from an armor point of view, John, because I know all about the fucking armor, there's a set of armor. Like the mats, when you get to like the 4th level upgrades, it's like you need 45 opals per piece. So that's 135 opals. Do you know how long it would take me to go farm 135 opals?
I know.
50 hours?
You can argue that they only really want you to get one high level set, not all of your armor. But yeah, it's a lot.
It's broken. And the rupees itself is like, so it's 500 rupees per armor. So 1,500, which I get. You could scrounger that up.
Yeah, there's a way to like sell recipes and
but
stuff.
Not for multiple armor sets.
Yeah, you got to pick one. And the point is like, hey, if you want the boost for that one armor set, you've got to have all 3 pieces. And what are the odds that you have all 3 pieces?
You have to find them randomly in this world.
Which...
Well, yeah, but you're going to find 3 pieces.
Nah, I think I...
But so let me rephrase it this way. From a duplication point of view, what's really beneficial in this game? Like, what do you really need? Currency, rupees, like I get materials from from a fusion point of view might be beneficial. Like if I killed an enemy that I could get like a plus 40 fuse and then duplicate that, or bombs or stuff like that. Like
bombs are
powerful duplications, right? And I get that might really change the way you beat a game. But at the end of the day, like, what's the harm in duplicating diamonds that have rupees or friggin', snow lizard tails because I want to upgrade my lizard armor? So like, I if I was a Nintendo to answer the original question, yes, I would fix the duplication error because they designed the game for a certain way. Right. At the same time, they created an economy that was so broken from a armor purchasing point. Like, there's the one town that has the armor. It's either, I don't know, might be whatever town it is, where you can buy the armor and you have to do the quest first because the mom is sick. Like, if
the
you
porridge,
if you don't do the quest, it's 5,000 rupees per piece. It's 15,000 rupees.
Right.
There's no way without duplication you can get 15,000 rupees in this game. There just isn't.
Yeah, the way I've heard to grind for like real is to make meat sticks, like hunt like the big animals, makes meat sticks. But like most times when you design a game, you don't think about like people have to find this one grind spot. It should be a natural progression. And you really, I rarely had like 1,000 gems, let alone 15,000 gems.
I know.
It felt broken.
So I look at this as what armor truly is a crafting system, right? That's all it is. It's you're crafting. And I don't know, if you're going to make a crafting system built into a game, then make a good one, make a true crafting. And there isn't. It's just,
it's fucking broken.
It's so broken. So
it's broken. It's super broken.
I don't even feel dirty that I did it.
Dupe it up, man. Dupe your face off.
I will tell a short story that I told Hambone today so I was duplicating the shit and I didn't update my game because it's like I found the new armor set. I wanted to upgrade certain things. So I went on the other day to play and I was like, every time you load the game, even if you don't close it, if it's even in sleep mode, the software update pops up and you just say, no, start software. So I come home Friday. What's today? Sunday. I came home Friday night from work. I had to go after. I stayed to work. I had to work late and then I had to go somewhere after. So I come home. My son is playing Pokemon Shield. I said, oh, cool, buddy. What are you playing? I was like, all right, yep. He goes to bed. Blah, blah, blah. I played. I load up my Switch and like instantly I had to switch as he was playing on my Switch. So I hit Zelda and didn't ask for an update.
Same thing happened to me. I was like, shit.
What happened?
The gravy chain is over.
Yeah, he must have accidentally just hit A, like when he's...
Yeah, I don't know what happened because I didn't hit it either. I don't know.
But you couldn't?
I was playing handheld, so I don't know if my battery ran out or something happened where it like automatically happened. But
so maybe it wasn't my son.
It might not have been him. Don't blame him, dude. Don't blame him.
No, I think you have to hit the button. I think you have to hit the button.
I didn't hit the button and it just happened to me, so... I don't know.
Now, so here, that brings up an argument. You guys both have digital?
I have digital.
Physical.
You're physical? Drew, you can just delete the game and then play off the cartridge again. You can undo it.
Fuck that.
That sounds...
that's bullshit.
John, do you know who you're talking to?
You go to your save data and it says there's your save file and then there's the game file. You can just delete that.
I'll end up deleting the whole fucking thing. I'll be so fucked that
you're not duping anymore. That's it.
This is like tech support with my parents.
So
no.
Let me rephrase. There is a new duplication method out there.
It's a weird one.
It's a weird one where you have to have a bow and arrow that shoots more than one arrow, and you have to do a certain spot on the map in a cave, and you shoot into the distance. And what happens is, when you shoot more than one arrow at a time, you shoot. Let's say you attach a diamond to your arrow. You shoot 3 diamonds into the sky. If you do it at a certain spot on the map, the arrows float. And you can do up to 20 items. So you shoot 20 arrows. The problem is the bow is going to lose its endurance, durability, and break. But when you walk close to them, they all drop. And whatever you shot stayed. So
that seems way harder.
It's so complicated. You need to have certain bows. They lose, they break, and it's like... But
yeah, I've seen some even like dumber ones, and it's like, no, just jumping off of using your
so
paraglider
easy.
is so easy.
The best part
Yeah.
was I did it at one of the ferries that had a little rock right next to it.
Yeah, I did that one too.
So you literally just go to the rock, jump, and then go back to the ferry. Like, oh, I did these now. Rock, jump, rock. I mean, it's stupid that I had to do that, but I mean, at the same time, there was times I was upgrading my armor where it's like, oh, you need 20 of these, and I was like, oh, I have 0 of those.
Yeah.
So I'd have to go find them and hunt them down, and like it would take me 10 minutes to get, or 20 minutes to get one sometimes. So like, imagine if I had to do 20
go get 20 of them. Yeah, that's fucking bullshit.
It's bullshit.
Honestly, the ratio of shit that you needed, it was fucked.
And like,
so like,
and then to John's
I
point,
don't feel bad about
John that always made
going
fun of me
into
was
it.
like, you don't need max armor. You don't need max armor.
Which you don't.
You don't.
Which you don't.
You
But
don't.
my point is,
I beat the game at like 30 armor
Yeah.
or whatever it was.
but if you don't, why make it so complicated? Who cares?
yeah, that's my problem. Like, why did they have to make it so crazy?
I think they just wanted you to be able to max out like one set, and you have to pick, because you need a some complicated
My
thing.
problem
I
is
don't know.
like, if you need that one set and you have to pick, then like the odds of you getting all 3 of those pieces early enough in the game for you to actually benefit from it is just not realistic.
Yeah, but I maxed out like the Hyrulean armor, which is like on sale at the landing.
Well, yeah,
And that's still the only armor that I ever maxed out.
Pick one set that's not one that they throw right into your face that you actually like cared about. You know what I mean? Like, what if you wanted to do the glide armor, and it took a while for you to find it, or like the rubber armor, which is not easy to find, or whatever other like bullshit that you actually wanted to max out. Like, it's just not realistic. Like, you're already playing this game for 120 hours. Like, you want to play for another 100 hours to get max armor? Like, that just is not cool.
And that's my struggle with these types of games. Like what's the worthwhile? Like, you play to match to do all the shrines. Do I play to max the armor? But if I beat the game, do I really need max armor anymore?
No, you don't.
Do you ever need it? No. So is it? It's just a trick.
But even still, to upgrade it twice still takes a lot of shit sometimes.
It does, and shit that's hard to get.
Yeah,
like there's a lot of armor that requires rubies. Rubies are tough.
Or even like think about all those amiibo ones, right, where you need the star pieces. Like how crazy is it to get a piece of like the star fragment? Like one drops every night, whatever. You can like chase one and everything,
and then
but
you have
like
to sleep till night. But I think rubies are even harder situation because rubies are a random drop.
That's true, because you need a lot of them too. Like some of the
it's not like you can just Google like where to find rubies. No, you can Google where to find ore, and then you might get a ruby, you might get an amber, you might get a
rubies seem like it's about selling things more than killing enemies or anything like that. And they give you some on quests, but it's not that much. And doing a quest can take a while.
Even
it's really
diamonds. There was some armor that I needed like 5 diamonds per piece. I was like, if I had to go find 15 diamonds in the wild, I'm not sure there's even 15 like in the game. Like, you don't really get diamonds from random ore. You gotta find them in a chest or something.
They're like shrine chests. And,
so
and if that, like,
so where would you find them?
Before I duped, I think I had 12. So I told myself, similar to what John did, I'm not going to dupe until I beat the game. I roll credits, like whatever. That's just how I wanted to play. And after that point, I think I had 12 or 13 diamonds. So I'm like,
there's no way you're going to be able to do stuff.
What the fuck? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how are you going to get all these diamonds?
And you know what? A lot of those diamonds come later in the game.
That's true.
Like the first 75 hours, you probably had 3 or 4.
Yeah.
You find a lot in the later shrines and the later levels and temples that you're playing. Not early on.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
But what you're describing, though, seems like intentional, right? You're talking about you want to be able to upgrade everything in the game, or even
not
just a
even
full
everything.
set. And they're kind of trying to restrict you from that and saying, yeah, there's probably at least 15 diamonds in the game. And I know you can buy them at the Goron City, but that requires rupees, which are harder to find the diamonds. And I think that's the point, is they didn't want people probably to max out lots of armors. That was the restriction. And we decided, I was the same as Hambone. I waited till I rolled credits. And then to enjoy the game more, I got 200,000 rupees and I could buy all the armor I found and play around and whatever. But I think that was by design. It's like when you do a skill tree in a game and you can't do the whole skill tree. You could either say, well, why can't I do everything in the skill tree? And it's like, well, we don't want you to be too powerful. We want you to choose where you're powerful. And that's it. And I feel like by allowing the duplication glitch, people could max out more than they really wanted you to. Game is totally beatable. So I wouldn't say it's unfair, but if you had an aspiration to fully max out one set of armor, yeah, it's really, really hard to do.
But I don't know.
I would just say I would be pissed if I found one piece of armor. I'm like, oh, I really like this. I don't have a lot of armor. I want to upgrade this. And I did it 2 or 3 times. And then I was like, oh, fuck, I couldn't finish like the rest of the armor piece. And then I found a whole set of something else. And I used the resources I had to upgrade that armor piece for, the one that I did upgrade.
Yeah.
It would just be fucked. I don't think there's enough to go around where you feel good.
But here's my other problem is, and maybe I haven't got there yet, but like I recently wanted to get the rubber armor. For those that have beaten the 4 areas, you know why. But I wanted to get the rubber armor, and I said, like, I know they have it. They had it in the first game. They probably have it in the second game. And I looked it up. I'm not going to lie. I looked it up on where to find it. The 3 locations are so spread across Hyrule, like, the odds of you coming across and finding
all 3 pieces
are almost impossible. But why not? And maybe there is. I don't know. You guys, John, you might know better than I do. Why not have a side adventure or a side quest that like leads you to collect in the 3 rubber armors?
Yeah,
and give you clues and hints.
I just feel like there's a missed opportunity for a lot of that stuff.
And maybe I'm over the top.
Instead of giving some dumb bird dude 3 fish
to get 3 bananas. I don't care. But wouldn't you rather say like, hey, go find this armor for this rubber armor because there's going to be a lightning storm and we want you to be able to go do this other quest.
But do they want you to have all the lightning armor? Because if you have all the lightning armor, it makes it a lot easier.
Who cares?
But if it was
make it hard,
but if it was difficult enough to get the armor, but it pointed you in the direction to get it without having to look on a guide, I feel like that's a big difference than just being like, okay, it's out there, go find it at some point or find a guide.
The thing that's been interesting is listening to everyone's like story of playing the game. Like, I played 140 hours. I never found the bubble guys that you catch in your bubble. And I have like 35 of those bubble gems.
I still haven't found them.
And I would have missed Impa, except, I was reminded like a few weeks ago, right? And like everyone's missed something. Michelle hasn't run into Hetsu yet, so she can't spend her Korok seeds. So she had to look up today where he was, because I remember he's on the way to, I think I can't remember, but he's on a main road
to Hebra. Yeah,
but you can easily miss him. You could just easily miss him.
Yeah,
and you never find him. Like, so everyone is like, I think everyone is sort of missing somebody.
Agreed.
There's some main thing you have not seen yet.
Agreed.
And that's weird.
All right, let's move on. John, I want to talk about open world gaming as a whole, because I think they can come in many different styles and ways. And I guess my question for you guys are, do you prefer the Zelda approach, where you kind of at the beginning pick your own path and they kind of piecemeal a story together? I think back to like The Witcher, because that's the only other big one I can think of where they kind of had main story quests that led you from town to town to town to town. And then you kind of could stop in each town and do a lot of side quests. With Zelda, I feel like I played 80 hours. And besides the memories, which aren't part of the storyline, or the quest line, I had no story development. I was doing shrines. I was beating temples. But like, I didn't know what the objective was at the time. It just literally you have one mission or one quest when you start the game that says go to these 4 areas and beat the temples, which is realistically like 80 hours of gameplay without any other story content before any other story. And again, the glyphs are, I hate to say optional, but the truth is they're optional. And I get it. If you didn't, now that I've seen them all, by the way, the glyphs are awesome memories, but you don't need them. I mean, it helps a lot. So what's your take, John? What's your opinion on what's type
the question?
The question is, do you prefer a more like guided storyline that has like optional quests, or do you prefer a more open concept like Zelda, or rather Tears of the Kingdom, where it's just side quest and do whatever you want and we'll throw story in there eventually?
I get what you mean, but Tears of the Kingdom does have main quests, so it's not that. But I understand what you mean. It's designed to be explored in any direction.
But I disagree. The main quest, the first quest is explore the 4 areas.
No, that's not the first quest, but yeah, it's fairly soon.
Very early on.
It's fairly early.
Yeah.
If you didn't do any shrines or anything like that and just did the 4 areas,
you would die.
I have to assume it would take you 40 hours, 30 hours.
I don't know. I think you have to do the shrines. You would die.
That's my point.
Imagine trying to do that stuff with like 4 hearts. No, I don't think you can do that.
No.
Yeah, because the bosses would no stamina.
There's certain areas where you have to like push doors open and stuff where you need so many hearts.
Right. They do have some artificial gates there.
So
I enjoy this format. Breath of the Wild had it, and then this game gave me that same feeling, even though I had played Breath of the Wild, and even though I kind of knew how this format was going to be after a while. It's so refreshing, and like you can do anything you want. And Breath of the Wild gives you that right away, and it was fantastic. This game didn't do it like right away. You knew you were on a great plateau, but I remember when you leave the Sky Island and you hit the ground and you're like, shit, I'm back in Hyrule and I don't know where to go. I think they kind of hint towards the landing, and I think there's a yellow dot, but you can kind of go anywhere. And that's when it felt open worldy. Along with Elden Ring. Like Elden Ring is the only other open world game that felt like Breath of the Wild a little bit, where you really you leave the tutorial area, you end up in this big continent, and they don't tell you where to go. That's the only other game that feels like this. And I love that style. The Witcher and Horizon do kind of like what you're saying, which is a main story.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed those games a lot, but I definitely prefer the Zelda.
So I don't know. Here's my thing. I kind of disagree because like if I'm going to Goron City or whatever the hell it's called over there, right? The Fire Mountain. I just feel like it's so much that you could possibly miss, right? If I went to that town and legit just followed the main storyline, I'd be in and out of the entire area in 3 hours, right? And I'd move on to the next area. I don't visit the Zoras, or I don't visit Gerudo. I don't know. Why not have like a bunch of side quests that are required to be completed in that area that tie in, you know? For example, how many memories are there? 12, 13?
13 of the glyphs, I think.
The glyphs, right?
12 glyphs
but why not have like 3 or 4 memories, like quest lines tied into each area, and require you to do those before you could even go to the temple? I just feel like it'd be a little bit, and maybe, I don't know, maybe that's not what people want, but I think if it throws the story at you a little bit more like periodically like that.
Yeah. I wish there was a way for them to have paced out the glyphs a little bit more. And I don't know how they would do that, because I don't think there's like thinking about like an Assassin's Creed game or like Valhalla, right? For instance, like I played that game for 140 hours.
God bless you.
Yeah, it was ridiculous, but I don't think they did the story any better than Tears of the Kingdom, I'd say, because there wasn't any sort of like pacing like that where you had to go to this area and you had to do a certain amount of things, and then there was some more story. Like maybe there's a little bit of that. I will say that compared to Breath of the Wild, how they did the story in this one, at least from the memories perspective, it was a lot easier to find them. Like the way that I play these open world games is like, I'm a fucking simpleton. I'm like, oh, there's a big tall tower. Like, I want to go to it. So I fucking did all the towers like my first weekend. And then like very shortly thereafter, I'm like, oh, there's these big ass paintings on the ground. I want to get all the memories right now. So like I did all those and I did all the memories. And so I had everything there from a story perspective, at least up until that point in time. And then I kind of just like, all right, well, I'm just going to get a shitload of shrines, like whatever. But I wish there was a way for them to like pace that out a little bit more. But I think there's no other game that does what Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, Breath of the Wild have done, I'd say, over the last 5 years. There's nothing I can truly compare to
Agreed.
it.
That's a fair point.
So all the bullshit, like, you know, that we're saying about the economy, yeah, it's broken as fuck and everything like that. But I think the way that they've presented just the openness of this game is really amazing. Like, you know, I think it's really, really good. And I would prefer that over, you know, an Immortals Phoenix Rising or a Far Cry or an Assassin's Creed or any of these other big open world games that you see out there on the market. I think Zelda's got something special. As much as like we're like complaining about it right now, I think it's really amazing.
No, I mean, I agree, right? But, you know, I remember back when we just started playing this game and we talked about Impa. and John didn't even know who Impa was,
if you blatantly missed it, like I ran into it.
So then you literally miss all 13 glyphs?
I would be pissed, right? I just so
like,
happened
what if you're 50 hours in and you hear someone talking about a glyph and you're like, what the fuck's a glyph? Like, what are you talking?
Yeah.
Or you come up to
that's fair.
But just think about it. How many times did you went to a glyph and you didn't know you were looking for an eye drop? Or let me rephrase.
Can you find the eye drop if you didn't talk to Impa?
No, I don't think you can. I think I think you need Impa first.
Oh, okay.
But you're absolutely right. Like if you didn't catch that one point where Impa wants you to do that, you totally missed out on all of the glyphs.
Like, there was no quest. Talk to Impa.
Exactly. There should have been. There should have been.
There should have been a glyph from the Landed that said, like, a main quest. It should have been in a main quest that said, talk to Impa and view or see all 13. And every time you saw one, it should have just said, like, 1 of 13, 2 of 13, 3 of... Yeah. It should have been a main quest storyline. And you had to do that in conjunction with visiting the 4 areas before you can move on to the next quest.
Yeah. Did you get all the glyphs?
I did.
I feel like I got all the glyphs, and I hear people talking about some other podcasts like, oh, like I wanted to do the glyphs in order or whatever.
Well, you don't know the order, do you?
There's a way to do it if you go to the ruins in one of the areas where it shows you like which one is first or second or third or whatever.
I saw the map, but it shows you all where the locations are.
There's a certain ruins area where you can go and like, oh, this is the first one, this is the second one, whatever. But I feel like just the random order that I got them were really great. Like,
I thought that was cool too.
Yeah, there was one, and I don't want to spoil it for anyone who hasn't done them yet, but like there was one where like it was farther ahead in the timeline than the others, and I was like, oh crap, like that person dies. I was like, oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah.
And then I found some other like past memories. So I think that just the random order I found them was awesome. But I feel like if it was a different order in which I located those glyphs, it would have been like really freaking weird to me. So like,
I can't remember which ones attached to what, but there were some glyphs that were harder to find, just a little more tucked away than others. And I guarantee you they made some of them really obvious.
Yeah.
Because they wanted you to get those first. I don't think there's a bad way to go through it. And it's hard to write a story that's like, what is it, 13 parts?
Right.
And you get them in any order.
At any point.
Yeah. So everybody got the story in a different way. And
I think overall my point is, and I'll end at this, is that I think you have this massive map and some really cool areas. And I was talking to Hambone this earlier when I was playing Zelda and he was watching me, giving me some hints. And I said, have you gone to like the Lost Woods yet? And he's like, oh yeah, I've been there. I was like, well, I'm struggling because at first, when I first went there was like a time I did all 12 towers. I didn't do the 13th tower. I couldn't find it. And I just saw this cloud. It was above it. But so I said, well, like, how do I get there? And, I'm not going to spoil it, but he told me how. And I was like, okay, that made sense. But like, I might play an entire game and not visit these iconic, like popular areas on the map. And it has no impact on my game. I don't know. That's a missed opportunity. If you spend that much time designing an entire, like 12% or 8% of the map, and the player doesn't have to see it or has no impact if they see it or not. I mean, and don't get me wrong, that area.
It's true of every open world game, though. I mean, every open world game, there's players who just get through the main quest and they roll credits, they're done. And then there's people who want to explore every inch. And I think having that reward of seeing more of the world has value.
It does.
Yeah, right.
It does. But all right, let's move on. That was a long one.
I got a topic. Sure. This is kind of a question, a topic that came up from Dylan. It's not really a question, but he's talking about his girlfriend Olivia, and he goes, Olivia doesn't have a normal job, so she does have a lot of time to play, but she has a bad guilt complex with gaming. She feels she's being lazy and unproductive when she should actually be working, drawing, shipping, stuff she can always do. Olivia, by the way, she does like art and she goes to cons and sells. She's like a vendor. Meanwhile, when I game, it's almost like work. So I find it to be productive because I have such a big backlog. Do you ever feel guilty playing video games?
So, I mean, that's a really good topic. I mean, we could probably talk for an hour on this topic.
Let's do 3 minutes. No.
Great question, Dylan.
The reason why I really like the question is because I feel the same way. Sometimes when I play games, I feel productive because I have a set of like games that I need to play through, right? Like I want to get through case 4 of Ace Attorney before something comes out tomorrow. And then And then as I'm working on it, I'm like, look at me, I'm getting productive. I put 2 hours into this. I'm like getting this done. And that's a weird thing because it's not. You're not being productive. You're just playing a game and you've constructed something in your head that makes you think it's productive.
Yeah, it's a great question. I wouldn't say I ever feel productive. I'm in life, at work, in parenthood and husbandhood. I'm always like planning my day, planning my week with like what's objectives, good or bad. I'm never like fitting in or thinking when's my video game time, right? It's like what are the objectives I need to do today, right? From sunrise to sundown, like what are the main things I need to do? Um, so I might be a bad example of this. I think it's a great question because I mean, there's times on the weekend specifically where like I literally, I'm going to use today, for example, Hambone's coming over my house. He's going to be there around 4 o'clock. And like, I would have loved to sit on the couch and played, Zelda and have a beer and have some cashews. But I was like, well, I should probably clean the bathroom to make sure it's clean for Hambone. I need to clean the toy room. I wanted to vacuum the pool. Yeah. Like, but it sounds stupid, but like,
responsibilities.
It is, right? Yeah. And I think you got to balance that. And that always comes back down to like, how do people have so much time for gaming, right? But at the same time, it's like, well, shit, if I just bang out these things, I'd rather be sitting on my couch playing Zelda when Hambone comes, and I can look down my driveway and I see him pull in, versus like play now and then scrambling to get stuff, and then he comes in and he sees me like cleaning it. It sounds silly, but that's how like I kind of do my life. So it goes back to that work-life balance and how do you really work game balance, and that's just the way I've always looked at it. Like,
do you ever feel guilty while you're playing a game, or you're saying you avoid that by making sure you get everything done beforehand?
I think I avoid it by I try to get my everyday life stuff done, or if I'm gonna play game, like I'll have a little bit of self-control and be like, I need a hard stop by this time, and then like 20 minutes before that time starts, I'm like, all right, I got to be done in 20 minutes. Is this a good save point? Do I just stop now, or do I have time for like to get to a next save point? So I'm pretty good with that. I'm pretty obedient when it comes to those things. I think that's just more of like I don't want to say OCD, but it's just more paranoid of I like to get stuff done, and unfortunately, life takes precedence for me, I guess.
Yeah, I think that this is an interesting question because Olivia, like Dylan says, like, hey, she doesn't have a typical job. Like I have a normal corporate, I don't want to say normal, but I have a corporate 9-to-5 type job, right? So I can see from her perspective, like, hey, I don't have a 9-to-5. Like when I want to work, it's my time to work, and I could be doing X, Y, and Z, but I'm playing video games instead. Like my normal video game time is like after 8 o'clock, my kid's to bed. Like I can watch a TV show or I can play video games. And I normally play like, hey, I want to play video games because that's my free time.
Yeah.
From her perspective, like, oh, okay, like I can work whenever I want to work because I'm working for myself. So if I'm doing this instead of doing my work, like I feel like that's a lost productive opportunity. But I on the flip side, like I took that Friday off when Tears of the Kingdom came out. And that Friday I was off, and like I had my work phone next to me, and I can see the emails coming in. I'm like, yeah, it's my day off. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, so like that's gonna wait till Monday. So I'm like, yeah, I kind of feel guilty that I'm sitting here playing video games and enjoying myself in that.
Yeah, but you took it off. I mean, yeah.
But I took it off. Yeah. But at the same point, like I know that there's my team there, like working on the X, Y, and Z that's coming in where I could have normally been doing that type of stuff. So like in that perspective, I might feel guilty. But at 8 o'clock at night on a random Tuesday night, like this is my game time, like is what it is type of thing.
It's a great point. So, I think it varies, right? It varies for what you do for work, right? Whether you work from home, you have to work in an office, you have a flexibility. I mean, I legit logged on for 20 minutes before, like at 3:30 today before you came. So it's like, shit, I need to clean up. I need to do my guys' times, right?
Right.
I need to make sure they get paid correctly. I logged on for 20 minutes and I did that. So. I think it's just comfortable. I think it's case by case on your life, but it's a great question. I would never feel guilty. I think that's a really tough word to say. Everyone's owed their own pleasure, their own time off. I mean, I don't want to speak for people. We all work hard, right? But yeah, don't feel guilty to play a video game. But also make sure you're getting your life habits done or your life chores.
Yep. Don't feel guilty, Olivia.
That was a responsible.
Yeah, don't feel guilty.
Yeah, she is playing Tears of the Kingdom.
Oh, thank you. All right, John, I have a question for you. So the other day I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom, and I'm playing handheld on my chair, and I have the volume up, medium level, and I realized it's something hit me for the 7 years that Switch has been out. I was like, wow, I don't know what it was, but I was like, the sound quality on the Switch speaker,
it sucks ass, right?
I don't know.
Is it good?
I thought it blew my mind how good it was.
No, the OLED improved it. That's an OLED thing.
I was impressed. Like that's not something like typically I would like. Sound quality would either be like good, bad. I'm indifferent. I don't care as long as I can hear it. And I was blown my mind. I was like, wow, this is like really powerful, solid sound quality.
I think on the original Switch, the speakers went to the back. So it was going out the back. And now they come out either the front or the down. But they're better too. The audio is way better on the OLED.
It could depend, like if you're playing against a blanket, are you like holding it up or whatever it might be. But I was really impressed. So the question is there a feature on the Switch that you think maybe goes unnoticed that you really like or use?
For me, the kickstand on the OLED.
Like you use that often?
All the time. I never used the kickstand on the original Switch. It was flimsy, and I feel like the Switch would fall sideways and down. And
I agree with that.
But like what I do now is I have my Switch here. Is they got the much bigger kickstand.
Yep.
And then like if I'm working and I'm just like playing a little bit between, or sometimes I'm playing a game where I'm like watching cutscenes.
Yes.
Yeah. I did do that with Switch Sports. And I take the Switch and I keep the kickstand out, and I'll play it like this with my fingers under, and then I'll just put it down next to me and do whatever.
I do like that idea. So you keep
it's easier to grab
open.
Yeah, it's easier to grab it.
It's kind of like saying if you had a pop socket.
Yes.
And you keep your pop socket open, right? And you can put it down on your desk. I know what you're saying. Absolutely. All right. I respect
because if you put the Switch flat, you have to kind of like you put it down, but then you got to be gentle and you got to like rest it and then let it go, right? It's just with the kickstand, it's so much easier. So I do it a lot.
All right. Nice. All right. That's all I got.
Does Hambone have a feature?
Yeah, I don't know. I like the sleep feature, but that's.
Do you have an OLED? You have an OLED, right?
The sleep feature is huge.
Yeah, I have an OLED.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I think sleep is nice.
So I did a dumb question. Does like PS5 or Xbox have the same type of feature?
Yeah, they have like quick resume or like rest mode for PlayStation, so it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, but PS5 can start 1. I think Xbox can theoretically do 5, but I found it even on both of them. Sometimes it just doesn't.
Depending on the game, it varies.
Yeah,
but like like PlayStation, if you're playing one game, you can put it in rest mode and then start right back up. So that's kind of nice.
It's kind of a weird feature because on Switch, it never fails, right? I have never had a game not come out of suspend, but on PS5 and especially Xbox, I'd have games where I paused it, I came back, and you want to rely on that feature because like I'm not going to save it. I'm just going to turn it off real quick. It's the nicety of it, and then it doesn't. And once it does that, then you start saving your game every time, and you kind of lose. It's a useful feature still, but it loses a little bit. The Switch has never failed to come out of suspend. And I love, obviously, if you're doing an online game, it's not going to really work, but I've never had it not work, and it's so reliable. So that is actually, I would say, another feature of the Switch. It does it better than the other consoles.
Nice. Good. All right. That's all I got.
I have a question. Is using a controller with turbo considered cheating?
Yes.
So this question came up. This also came out of a conversation with Dylan. He was mentioning that in Splatoon, he uses an 8-bit. What is it? 8-bit Do or 8-bit Do? 8-bit Do.
I think it's 8-bit Do.
Okay,
is technically how it's said.
And he uses turbo, and like so. There's a weapon in Splatoon where the first shot, like if you press the shoot button, the ZR button, and hold it, the first shot is more powerful than the rest of the shots. But if you're using turbo, every shot is powerful because you're constantly restarting the attack.
That's absolutely cheating.
That's cheating.
So he was cheating. I think it got patched out recently, but yeah, is turbo cheating?
Yes.
Yes, but do I care? No. Unless it's competitive like that in Splatoon,
Unless it's competitive,
then you're
I think in Splatoon it shouldn't matter. And if it's any offline, let's say any offline game, I could care less.
Whatever. It's the same thing as duping. If you dupe, you turbo. You dupe, you turbo.
Yeah, it's up to you.
Imagine if you turbo dupe.
Turbo dupe?
Turbo dupe.
I would fucking be all over the turbo dupe.
Can you imagine? Just pumping diamonds out?
But yes, that's absolutely turbo. Turbo dupe.
Good question.
I like how it's absolutely cheating. It's not depends on what you want. No, absolutely.
It's fucking cheating. Okay. Sorry.
Question for both of you guys. So, little did you know, first of all, great PlayStation Dads episode. I actually listened.
Hey, all right.
Wow.
And listening to some of these games, and this has kind of been a recurring question over time, but like my general question is, are video games becoming too big for their own good? And what I mean by that is, games are now taking like half a decade to almost make, like years, right? With millions and millions of dollars of budget that goes into them, the producing level, even Tears of the Kingdom, right? Massive, massive game. But is it just too big for their own good? Like, at what point is it better to just, and John, we've kind of had this conversation in the past, like with Dead Cells, for examples, and I know that's a little bit different avenue because that's DLC, but like what's too big? Is it better off just like, what's the next big PlayStation game?
Final Fantasy.
So Final Fantasy. Is it better to make Final Fantasy a 50-hour game and put it out in 2.5 years or 2 years? Or is it better to make it a, over 100-hour game with endless opportunities and make it 4 or 5 years to make? Because at the end of the day, are people buying Final Fantasy regardless of how long it is? Probably.
Yeah. Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Tears of the Kingdom. If Tears of the Kingdom was a 100-hour game or literally a 30-hour game, people were still going to. Now, would it get Game of the Year? Maybe not. But at the end of the day,
it could.
It could.
30-hour games can definitely be Game of the Year.
So are they just getting to be too big? And now are we in a society and like an industry where it's just it's like now it's the expectation? But why?
They are too big. My feeling has always been I enjoy 15 to 20-hour games, get into experience or whatever. I feel like Tears of the Kingdom is great. I think it's my favorite game of all time. But it took 6 years to come out. When Breath of the Wild came out, I thought there'd be a new game in like 2 years.
I thought so too.
Yeah.
And 6 years took a long time to come out. But it's fantastic. It's great or whatever. But I don't want Zelda games to be 6 years apart.
No.
Where's Odyssey? I want more smaller experiences, and I don't think they should be too big. But I did you listen to GameScoop? You listened to GameScoop, you said, Hambone.
Yes.
I don't remember who it was on GameScoop, but they made a great point. They said the problem is these games are like 15-hour games that they stretch you out through backtracking and repetitive quests, and they make them 50-hour games when the crux of the game is actually much less. And it's like they're forced to. And if that adds years to the development, remember in like Tears of the Kingdom, right? Remember the first time you got to one of the shrines with the crystal? And you're like, oh, that's interesting. And then you realize there's like 30 of them.
Like 30, yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. And there was the what's the other one? Oh yeah, how many shrines in Tears of the Kingdom are a blessing? There's tons of them.
I have a huge fucking issue with that.
Really?
I am so pissed that so many of these fucking shrines are just like, oh, okay, you found the shrine, now you're good to go. I feel like they mailed it in with some of this shit.
Yeah.
I mean, there's
It's like
159 shrines.
Like they
just
made
have
it that big.
120.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like, I appreciate it if the game is structured in a way where it needs to be. There's so many systems working into each other, and like Tears of the Kingdom is a great example of that, right? You need the depths to get the battery stuff to be able to explode the sky some more, and like everything is feeding into each other. Like, so be it. But like so many, like I almost look at like Miles Morales on a PlayStation perspective as like the perfect game.
Yes.
Because right, you can beat that game in like 7 or 8 hours and like just mainline it and like be done, or you can go and do everything and like play it for 20 hours and like you've seen everything, you've done everything. Like if every game was like that, it would be amazing.
Yep.
But realistically, like, you can't do a Zelda game in 20 hours. There's too much into it. And if they're going to take Zelda and this is the new formula where it's this big open world and you can do all this other stuff and whatever, and you need to get like so many like orbs or light blessings to get a heart piece, like obviously it's going to take way fucking too long.
Yeah.
It's rough.
I think the problem is now with the expectation, right? Is like if Tears of the Kingdom came out and said we have 80 shrines, people would have lost their shit because Breath of the Wild has 120. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Yeah.
So
it's kind of damn.
The expectation is now just like more and more and more, and I'm like, I don't want more. Like,
I don't think you needed more. They could have done 120.
That's my point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Food for thought.
Yeah, I don't think it's a perfect answer or like there's a perfect solution to this. But yes, absolutely. Games are becoming more expensive to make. The development time, the more you stretch it out, right? It's just like it's going to cost more for the publisher to make back their money. You're paying people to develop these games. And like the longer you wait to push them out, the more it's going to cost on the back end for us. And that's why we're paying $70 for Zelda.
And I think it's why a lot of us like to play indie games. They're $20.
10 hours, 8 hours to beat.
Yeah, I enjoy them more. And like the last example I want to say is like Starfield. Why does Starfield need to be like a 10-year dev cycle? And think about the massive amount of pressure the Starfield team has.
Oh my God. Imagine if they split it up into 2 or 3 different games and then just like segmented it. Like
exactly.
They could have a trilogy on their hands and they could sell the same games for $180, but they're going to sell it once and just put it on Game Pass.
I don't get the impression, and we still don't know a ton. I don't get the impression Starfield is going to be this incredible game. I think there's going to be people that, want to feel that way, whatever. I don't think it's going to be anything earth-shattering, but the gravitational force behind the years they've put into it. How many years? Tears of the Kingdom was 6 years, but man, it's like so unique and expressive and whatever. I just feel like take 5 years and make a Starfield. Like, why are you making how many planets they have? It's like, who needs that? Even on Game Pass News, Nick was like, you're saying that there's 1,000 planets. I don't want 1,000 planets. Like, I don't want that.
It's too much.
And it's like, why are you putting all this effort in when there's literally nobody that wants that? Nobody. Make 10 planets. We'll all be happy.
Yep.
Bizarre.
Right. What do you got?
I don't know. I like your question. After Tears of the Kingdom is complete, Drew has a real concern with my video gaming plan for the rest of the year. What do we really have coming from Nintendo?
So what do we know? Right? We know Pikmin 4. We know Metroid Prime. And now we
do not know Metroid Prime.
I guess you're right. We don't know that.
We haven't heard anything.
You can go back and play Metroid Prime if you didn't finish it.
And then we have it. Now we have Switch.
Well, you're talking Metroid Prime 4, though, right?
Metroid Prime 4,
yeah. We've heard nothing.
My problem is I don't play Pikmin. I tried Metroid Prime 1. It's not for me.
You're fucked. You have to buy Xbox.
But honestly, from a Nintendo fan point of view, like 2023.
Go replay Tears of the Kingdom is what they want you to do.
And maybe there'll be some Mario Golf DLC.
That's long gone. And as you know, John, my favorite game I've been waiting for months after months after months, Dwarf, has been postponed on the Switch. And what the fuck's up with the Switch games still being postponed? Like after 7 years, don't you think that like developers like would have figured it out? They're still getting delayed for third-party games.
Oh.
Yeah, I would set the third-party delays before, but that's nothing to do with Nintendo, right? That's their own. Hey, maybe isn't coming up.
It was weird that Dwarf didn't come out and they didn't make an announcement.
It was on.
Wait, was there a date and the date passed, and then they're like, actually,
it was on June 1st, and then someone on Twitter asked, like, did it get delayed for Switch? And the developer was like, oh yeah, it is. We don't have a new date yet.
Wait, did it come out on PC, just not on Switch?
It's been on PC for like 6 months.
Oh, wow, that's kind of bullshit.
And
they just didn't release it,
and it was on the Nintendo Switch shop.
It's
not there anymore.
This doesn't bode well for your.
It's really stupid.
It's not looking good for Dwarf.
No.
Sports story.
Dwarf is taking a dwarf.
Yeah.
I don't look. Nintendo's going to have other games. We're going to find out probably pretty
When?
soon.
Well, I don't know. They just did their random Twitter drop 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like that means there's no direct coming.
Yeah, everybody went to Switch. What else do you need?
I think we are the exception on playing Tears of the Kingdom, right? Like, I think a lot of people are out there just like kind of dinking around in it. Like, John and I have beaten it. You're close. But, like, most people playing Tears of the Kingdom do not have 100 hours in it.
I get it, but
I would say.
Also, I don't think there's a lot of people out there going to just like, I'm going to play Tears of the Kingdom for 3 straight months. I don't think that's true either.
That's a lot of people, though. A lot of people are doing that.
Yeah.
I don't think so, though. I think there are people, I mean, just from like look at the Nintendo data stuff, they say that and then get distracted by something else.
This is why I'm not just a Nintendo gamer, to be honest with you, though.
It's true.
Because especially like when you're in the midst of like a potential console refresh, which we feel like is all coming at some point soon. Like there's other stuff to play. Like, there's like a shit ton of other stuff to play on PlayStation or Xbox or like a whole back catalog of other stuff. You can play like whatever. So it's like the Nintendo future is bleak right now. Like if you're not in on Pikmin, like,
it's not bleak.
It's fucking bleak, dude.
It's bleak.
Pikmin or bust, my friend.
It's it.
No,
it's
no. I think. Well, no. Hey,
don't fucking tell me no. It's Pikmin
everybody
or bust.
want to Switch. Put it in your mouth,
John. The next podcast, I want you with a fucking horse mask on, please. God.
Okay. No, I think Nintendo rightfully expects Tears of the Kingdom is occupying. If they released Pikmin 4 like today, people would be pissed. They'd be like, I'm playing Tears of the Kingdom, so it's too much.
I think the
Pikmin 4 comes out, I think, early July, right?
We need to know what's going on in the fall and the winter, and they have not told us yet, so it is fucking bleak.
But I can't wait till September to tell us.
No.
They can't wait till September. So here's the thing, right? Typically, E3 is in June. I mean, I'm sure they have a 12-month plan of when they're going to announce. Like, are they going to have a direct in June? I mean, why would they have just announced all this other stuff?
Nintendo Live is
there's going to be a bunch of
September.
indies and stuff. Like, if you're into that scene, like, you've got Gunbrella and Pepper Grinder and Plucky Spire, and there's a bunch of other non-Nintendo stuff that'll hold you over.
Can a company really just rely on third parties to control
but that's
their
system? That's kind of what they're doing at this point,
That's
though.
fucked up. I don't like it.
I think we'll find out something.
Hopefully we'll know soon because it's not good.
It's not good. It's not good.
I think they're just letting the tears roller coaster go for a little bit.
Which is fair.
I have tears because of this. John, let me ask you a question here, a new question. Fuck, marry, kill. But let's do this in a different, unique way. Rather than individuals, let's do it with the 5 races of Hyrule, right? So you're going to pick 3 of the races, right? Obviously, the races we're going with is Hylian, Gerudo, Goron, Zora, and Rito, right? So those are the 5 races we're going with. Which races, I guess the top 3 races you'd want to keep. So you're really killing 3 of them in a way. It's really 3 kills and which one you want to fuck, which one you want to marry. But pick 3 of them and then do the fuck, marry, kill concept. What do you got?
So it's fuck, marry, kill, kill, kill.
Pretty much. But at least you didn't kill one with a little bit of your own.
Well, first let's start off. Which is the hottest race? Can we debate that?
Well,
Who's the hottest race? I mean, it feels like Hylian is like, well, Hylian's like they're human. So
Hylian?
Yeah.
Hylian.
I don't know.
Salsa. I mean, like, what do you do?
So I'll go first. I'll say my marry would be Hylian. I think keep the humanoid people alive.
I'm a marry Gerudo. Honestly, because
marry them, they seem
I'm gonna
bitches.
I'm gonna have a daughter,
very hostile,
and I get to send her away.
There's that small chance.
So
I can't say it, spoiler alert, but there's that small chance you know what I'm talking about.
That's true. I could.
But I think Gerudo is the person, the perfect fuck. Like think about the orgies.
See the hips?
I think the orgies. The orgies.
Yeah.
Oh,
okay.
That's why I'm going there.
Fair enough. I'm marrying a Hylian or a Gerudo. That's my.
What about you, John?
Well, who are you marrying, John?
Who am I? It's probably the same. I'm probably going to marry Hylian.
Fucking boring.
But I will say the Zora, I think. I like
Zora's
Zora.
The first one I kill.
Zora, I'm fucking.
You know what? I'm gonna change.
Zora.
I'm gonna say I would marry Zora because I think that would be interesting.
No, I think it's very slippery. And I'm like in on that.
It's like you don't even need the lube.
You don't even know. It's just like boom. Here we go.
Right in the blowhole.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like Goron. I feel like they're a good time.
Goron's getting killed.
I think Goron's definitely my kill because
I have never liked the Gorons.
I love the Gorons.
I love them too.
But like, I feel like they're like if you're
Goro?
like a cushion for the pushing type of guy.
Oh, that's not happening.
There's no cushion. There's no cushion there. They're all
You
rock.
better be on top.
Yeah. So Goron's getting the axe for me.
They're like keep thrusting, Goro.
And Rito, I don't know,
Useless.
guys. What do you think? I think it's just too much feathers. It's too messy.
It's
for anything.
It's
Yeah, they creep me out. It's like Daisy Duck or something.
Yeah, and Hylian.
So we all agree we're killing the Goron, we're killing the Rito.
Yeah.
So Hylian, Gerudo, Zora becomes the fuck, marry, kill.
okay, sure.
So I'm marrying Zora, and God, I know this is weird. I guess I would fuck Gerudo and kill Hylian. Hylian was like, they went from the most normal, but I'm just like, it just seems different. I'm gonna marry a fish girl.
Yeah.
I like Mifa.
I'm killing the Hylians. Sorry, they're too much. Yeah, killing Hylians.
I'm killing Zora
I'm getting down with the Zora, and then I'm marrying the Gerudo.
and hoping for a boy or hoping for a girl.
I mean, I hope for a girl, and I send her away when she comes of age, and like I don't have to worry about that.
Would you are you an Urbosa type or a Riju type?
Yeah, whatever.
Hey, she's of age now.
Yeah, whoever wants to come over, like I'm good.
Orgy, like I said.
Yeah, whoever's around.
What are you doing, Drew? Killing the Zora?
I'm killing the Zora. They're useless in my eyes. I mean, they're useless in this game. Let's be honest.
The worst. Could we? Yeah, I know this is not a question, but could we rate the powers real quick in terms of the sage powers? Let's say the 4 sage powers.
I'm going Rito number 1 best.
Rito
power.
number 1.
Rito, yeah, same.
And I think from a fighting point of view as well.
I like the arrow. Arrow's pretty good.
They always snipe people, which knocks them out.
A bunch of likes. I've gotten into a cave where like a like has. I'm like, oh man, I'm frozen, and then
bam, saves you.
Boomed me. Yeah.
Rito's number 1. We all agree.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I mean, you use it constantly.
Yeah.
The only kind of other option there, I think, is the Goron. I think
number 2,
the Yonobo
number 2.
with the
you don't need bombs anymore.
You don't need the bombs. I think that's a very awesome.
Although you have to wait for him to refresh. You ever go into the caves where you break a wall and there's another wall and then another wall?
There. Yeah,
it's so annoying.
Yes, exactly.
Like, come on.
That's why
I'll be honest, the other 2, I don't even use.
They're fucking worthless.
The Zora, Sidon, whatever his name is, I don't even keep him out. He's always gone.
Bullshit.
I don't even keep him out.
You know, I never wanted to fuck a fish before. Like, he made me question myself a little bit. But like,
in so many ways.
Yes, but other than that, like he's fucking worthless. And who's the girl? Riju? Yeah, she's cool, but like, the powers are bullshit.
The powers are just for their area.
Yeah. Exactly. Agreed.
The nice thing about Riju is that like it does have some knockout power because it's electric, and you can do a bunch. So like I'm thinking like the army that you fight near the end, Hambone. It's useful in big groups. I find it useful in boss fights and whatever, just for shock value and whatever. Although a lot of times it's annoying because you hit A near her and it gets yellow.
That a lot. That was good.
Oh, that's true.
Good, John. Very nice.
But sometimes you accidentally talk to her and it gets yellow. And it's like,
that's terrible.
I hate that.
I also don't like that they all just completely obscure your damn vision.
It's terrible.
It's a fun mechanic, but it's flawed.
It's so flawed.
It's like when you're looking for like a shrine or something and you just like, get the fuck out of my way. I'm trying to look, They're just walking around. Dope, 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 dope.
Yeah, they're so derpy. It's crazy.
All right. What else you got?
I think we have one more question, and it's an easy one. Are you still going to play the Lord of the Rings Gollum on Amazon Luna?
It's not on Luna.
If it was on Luna, would you subscribe? Are you still going to play? Do you still want to play Lord of the Rings Gollum, first of all?
Yes.
Despite the reviews.
John, you're talking to the guy. You're talking to the guy that's played Pine. I mean, I can play.
You did not know how bad Pine was.
I'm sorry,
we played it.
Amaranth just popped on the screen. Bad timing.
She's sprinting on a treadmill.
She has a good pace. That's like a really 6 mile.
I would say 6.5 at least. She's
running on a treadmill in a sports bra. I'm sorry, but I would if this was on. I'm going to be complete. This is not an exaggeration. If they announced this on Luna starting tomorrow, I would 100% sign up for Luna just to play it. in the zone, dude. All right. That's it.
We have some listener questions.
Sure. Let us
So
hear
we'll wrap up with those. First question is from Mecha Dragon. What would be your hardware turnoff? For example, when a new gaming console or handheld comes out, what would make you go, I don't think I want it anymore?
If I don't want it anymore. I mean, I will say a huge selling point for me is handheld for a Nintendo. If Nintendo came with a console that wasn't handheld, I don't think I wouldn't buy. I would still buy it, but I do love the flexibility of being able to do both. But that's a tough one. Like, what would be a reason that you wouldn't buy it anymore, huh?
For me, it's all about the games. Right?
Agreed.
If it's got the games I want to play, I'm going to buy it. But
that's a great question.
Like price point maybe, but like I'm at a point in my life where I'm like, all right, if the console's $600, like I'm probably going to buy that console if I really want it,
True. So it's a great question where let's look at it from that point of view where let's say Zelda and Mario games were now on PlayStation 5.
Yeah, sorry. Nintendo's probably going to go into.
But do you know what I'm saying? Like, do you need Nintendo anymore?
No. I don't.
It's a great thought, right? It's a tough thought, but it's the truth. Like, what?
Why wouldn't you go Nintendo? What? Because it's not handheld?
Well, I'm just saying in general. To Hambone's point, it's software based, right?
Yeah.
So if the
they didn't
big
make
software
games.
titles were diverse, that they weren't limited to just Nintendo, right? Look at Sonic nowadays. Sonic dropped their consoles, and they made games for all platforms. Sega, what did I say?
You said Sonic. It's okay.
Same concept. You know what I mean. Sega. So if Nintendo, whatever, happened to do that road, I guess it's a bad point because you wouldn't buy the console. But it's the same idea, right? Like, is Sega successful? Kind of. It depends which way you look at it.
It's the same reason why I play most of my games on PlayStation now compared to Xbox, right? Or Switch. Like, if I have the option, I'm gonna play the game on PlayStation. And
would you though, even games, like, let's say Tears of the Kingdom was on both consoles?
I played on PlayStation.
Even with the flexibility of playing handheld? You don't play that much handheld?
I do some, but like most of the time it's on the TV, especially for a game like Zelda. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, it would perform because there's definitely some performance issues in Tears of the Kingdom.
Yeah, which are fine. Like whatever it is, what it is. Like, right. Slow down. Like, so be it. Like, but it's not breaking the game where I can't enjoy.
No, it's fine.
But if like, there's an option to play it on a more powerful console, I'm absolutely going to play.
Right. That's like with Hogwarts Legacy, right? If you had to choose between the Switch and the PlayStation, I mean, I would choose the PlayStation all day because you just know the performance difference would be huge.
Yeah.
But if it's like an indie game, I'm like, oh, Dead Cells, or, I'm like, no, I'll play it on Switch. Maybe it performs a little bit less, but that difference is very small.
Yeah. Or think about like the Final Fantasy Pixel remasters. I think that's a great option there. Like, so many people are playing on the Switch because like just pick up and play type of thing. I think that's awesome. But I think at the end of the day, it's all about the games.
Great.
I don't know if I have an example of like a console that I was going to buy that I decided not to, but I will say I was super turned off when the Wii U was announced and it used the same controllers as the Wii and it still had the sensor bar like the Wii.
Fucking sensor
bar. I was like, I hated the sensor bar. I hated having that set up. I hated aiming at the TV. Okay. And the gamepad itself was, I mean, that was more afterwards, like was really clunky and it felt old on day one. I still bought the Wii U, but I hated that. I wanted a new controller with some new controller features. And one of the big reasons why I'm the same way, like I'd rather play a game on the PlayStation, the Xbox, is because the DualSense. It's like, oh, this is the same game, but the DualSense, Hogwarts Legacy has some DualSense features which are really cool. And you like that. I don't want to use the Wiimote again.
Are you looking at the Rogue Ally, Drew, at all from a handheld perspective?
What is it?
It's not the Steam Deck, but there's a new Asus handheld coming out like in a week or two.
What is the software for it?
It runs on Windows, so you can play. I mean, not Nintendo games, but
what's the price point?
It's not cheap. It's like $600.
So same as I'd rather go with the Steam Deck, though. No,
yeah, I think you might want to go with this one because it's easier to run on Windows. It doesn't run on Linux, so you can get like the Xbox and the PlayStation app and all that stuff like a lot easier. So take a look.
It's just that's
never happening.
It's a big cash drop. but it's
just,
handheld.
Yeah.
So
I could always find shitty games on the Switch, though. That's the problem.
That's true.
All right, next question, John.
Next question from Darth Platypus. What is your go-to armor set for Tears of the Kingdom? I've stuck mostly to the Hylian armor on the surface and swapped to others for specific needs. And I will say right off the bat, his answer is exactly my answer.
Yeah.
So boring.
Same. I'd say same up until like 10 hours ago when I was when I was in a dupe factory. Once I turned the dupe on, like, whatever. And now I'm on the Twilight set.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was all about the Hylian armor because that was the one I had most upgraded. I had the depth armor, like the light
gloom.
The gloom. No, not even the gloom. The light armor for the depths with the gloom head. I always wear the gloom hat.
The Midna hat is awesome.
The Midna hat, yeah. So that was the one I wore in the depths. But other than that, it was always Hylian armor, unless I needed to like have like cold or warm, environmental stuff going on. But Drew, Mr. Armor Connoisseur himself, like lay it on us here. This is your question.
I have 3 main sets that I use, all matched, of course. I use the Twilight set, which gives you a mat of 60 armor. But when you have all 3 of them on, it gives you a tat bonus up. So that's huge. And it's not the most appealing looking armor set, but
I like the look of it though. I like the look of it.
It's fine. But it gives you 60 armor and it gives you a tat bonus up. So why not? The other 2 armors that I use every time I play is the climbing armor, of course, matched armor, 60, and it gives you the boost to you climb faster. As well as when you jump, it uses less stamina. So you can really get up walls and mountains really quick. I've also dyed that one orange. And then the last one I use all the time is my Froggy. I think it's called Froggy something.
Froggy armor, I think.
My Froggy armor, which matched, of course, 60 armor. And it is slip resistant. So how many times are you trying to do a quest or getting somewhere and it's raining out and you can't climb a mountain or wall?
But you can't jump, right? Like I always find that weird. If you jump, you'll slip. So it is.
What about if you have it maxed?
I don't think that's true if it's maxed, John.
Oh, really? If it's maxed?
I've jumped.
Should have maxed it.
Should have maxed it.
I'd like to. I can't. It's demanding so much.
It's so much.
But it is weird because it's like you won't slip, so then you jump and then you slip, and you're like,
yeah, no, I don't think I slip.
Yeah,
I don't think I do. No. But yeah, those are my 3 go-to.
So what do you wear though? But like you put the Froggy armor and stuff when you need it, right? You're not, or are you using it?
Unless I like forget to take it off.
I will say we loaded up his game today and the Froggy armor was on.
It was So it was probably raining out or something, and then I just like was doing, and I didn't take it off.
But if it's like perfect weather and you're on the just land and whatever, what is your go-to
for now? Because that's the armor I have that's matched that gives me the boost.
Okay, sweet. Direct Platypus also asked, if you could take a summer vacation anywhere, where would you go?
Oh, good question.
And have you been there?
Summer vacation. I haven't been to California in 10 years. I guess I'd go out to Cali, do some things. I don't know. I'm not really like an international type traveler.
Anywhere. Like money's not an issue. Like time's not an issue. Don't worry about taking care of your kids. Like where would you go? Like if you wanted to go somewhere you've never been.
He's going Amsterdam.
Maybe I'd go to like Australia, do like an Outback or something.
That's cool. I like that. I'm not a beach guy. So like, I, like when I saw this question,
I'm like, but I'll get bored after 2 days if I go to a beach.
Like I would love to go like see the pyramids or like Machu Picchu.
My problem with those types of places is, and like I would go there and be like, wow, this is so cool. But then like after one day, like now what the fuck do I do? Yeah. That's my fear.
I feel like it would be like a hike to get there and stuff. I don't know.
Like, what do you do after though?
I've never been to Redwoods, like National Forest.
I've been to Redwoods.
Cool as shit. Like I would go see that stuff.
See, go to Cali.
I wouldn't. Yeah, let's go to Cali. We're all going to Cali.
I did that. It's fun. The Redwoods are cool.
Yeah, I can't go and sit on a beach for a week.
I get bored.
And maybe it's because we live so close to the water. Not like the beaches here are amazing or anything, but like
they're not bad,
but they're not terrible. So it's like
we have no beaches.
Yeah,
And I'm definitely not a person that can go to beach for a week. My brother will do that, and he'll do that vacation every year. He goes to South Carolina, and he just sits on the beach for a week. I cannot do that. I'd be so bored out of my mind.
Yeah, I mean, I understand people who want to do that, but I want to get up and do something and like see something I haven't seen before. So that's like where I'm thinking from like a historical monument perspective. I want to go check it out.
As crazy as it sounds, I'm not a guy that lets go on vacation and relax. I want to be doing something. I want to see something. I want to do something. I want to interact with something. What about you, John? Did you really answer?
What's funny is like, I'm definitely not, there's a lot of places I'd love to see. And like, you're talking about the pyramids and whatever. But realistically, my dream vacation this year would be to go to Nintendo Live in the beginning of September and PAX West with it, right? Is that they're doing that at PAX West?
Yeah.
I would love to have done that. But our schools start in August. So it's just it's bad timing. If our schools started like mid-September, I would absolutely try to get tickets to PAX West and Nintendo Live. That would be fun. Plus, there's so much to do in that area as well. So
yeah,
good question.
Yeah, I like that one. That was a fun one.
All right, we got one last one. One of our biggest fans, Hambone Jonny, left a voicemail a couple weeks ago.
Like a fucking month ago. Shit.
Let's play a couple. Yeah, let's listen in.
Hey, what's up, guys? It's Hambone. Hope you're doing well. Dialing in to tell you a little bit about my new lawnmower, the Toro Time Master 30. This bad boy's got two 15-inch blades spinning underneath its deck for a total of 30 inches of cutting circumference. And I'll tell you what, it's really saving me a lot of time. I've cut down my mow time from about an hour 20, hour 30, down to about 45 minutes. So it really is mastering the time, just like its name says. But yeah, tell me a little bit about your decks. Do you have a 30-inch deck like me? Do you have a littler deck? All decks are good, but I'd like to know a little bit more. Tell me a little bit more about your other lawn care techniques. Are you outsourcing it? Are you doing it yourself? What do you guys do for fertilizer? Lay it on me. Let's hear it. And Drew, don't stop believing.
That's how old that is.
That's how old that one is. Yep, wow. Indeed.
Before we answer this excellent question, Miami Heat beat the Nuggets. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
That's crazy.
We got a final.
I got to ask you, Hambone, like, why is it quicker? Is it because just more power? Because the East Coast has, I think, thicker.
Bigger deck.
It's less lines.
Oh, so less passes.
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
Less passes, for sure.
So let me ask you about the bigger deck.
Are you jealous of my big deck?
I'm a little jealous of your deck. Have you seen
You've got plenty to mow over here.
I do. I guess my question with the big deck is, how do you feel the overall look compares to the little deck? Because like sometimes you have the nice small lines, like that looks crisp. It looks, and sometimes when you have like too big, like you have like a landscaper come, they do, like it's like it looks good, but it's not as nice as like the crisp small one. So 30 deck's not oversized, but it's not under.
It's not a huge. So how do you? It's not a. I wouldn't say it's a huge deck.
It's not a huge deck.
It's not a huge deck. It's like a middle-sized deck.
Yeah, it's a good-sized deck.
So you still get those nice crisp lines, and it's not like a huge like zero turn or like a ride on or something, or you've got your landscapers coming. So you still get that nice.
So you're happy with the
I'm happy with the lines. Crisp lines.
How is the handability of your large deck?
That's where I think my large deck, it's difficult to handle.
Is it difficult?
I would say sometimes it's a little hard to get around the corners there. Like I've got a privacy fence around my backyard. So like getting around the corners and like being able to get as close as I want to is like not quite the same as my old.
That's fair.
My old,
How would you say your large deck performs compared to your smaller deck?
A lot more powerful. My large deck is super powerful. I'd say much more powerful than my old deck. Yeah.
So overall, you prefer the large deck versus the small deck?
If I had the option, small deck, large deck, I'm going large deck every time.
Lawnmowers, we're talking, of course. We're still watching Amaranth now, walking on a treadmill.
Large deck.
Large deck, indeed. Yep, she has a very large deck. John, what size deck do you... You recently purchased a new deck.
Yeah, tell me about your deck, John.
I didn't even know it was called a deck.
You can call it whatever you want, to be honest.
Yeah, hold on. I'm loading Amaranth up. So...
We've had her on for the past 2.5 hours.
I mean, I'll say it again. She's the best at what she does. I mean, nobody even comes close.
She's on a treadmill, texting.
Yeah.
Maybe
So,
5,000 viewers.
By the way, can we put some of our funds to her OnlyFans page? I just think we owe it to the listeners.
Does she write names? Like, I always wanted to send money and get Dad's After Dark show written on.
I don't know if she does that anymore. I think I just want to pay money to see her nude.
We should find someone who writes names and just do it and just make it a picture, and so we can make it our cover photo or something like that.
I just want to see her naked.
Anyway, I tuned out because East Coast grass is strong.
We do have some strong grass over here.
We live in a desert out here, and I'm not sure what Kuzi's what his yard is like, but our grass is just wimpier here. It's we live in a desert, and so I don't think I have a very big deck, but I don't have as big a yard as you guys.
True. You don't need a big deck if you don't have a big yard.
I do love my new electric mower, though. And it's funny, is my mowing experience is shorter because I used to have the cord and I'd have to manage it as I mowed. Most of my time was moving the damn cord around.
Yeah, fuck that.
It's nuts.
Cord electric yard work tool. It blows my mind that people don't kill themselves every day.
I know it was, and so now I can just go in circles now because I like to mow in a circle, and it's so much better. So it's so much better.
Mow in a circle.
Yeah,
pictures next time. Hold on, mow in a circle.
You can't just pass over.
Yeah, hold on. I want to mow in a circle.
Well, you can. So our yard, I don't know your yards, but like if you have like a circle, if you have a rectangular yard, I'm gonna go up, down, right?
Yeah.
But our yard is like they're like
I might go in a triangle if I have a triangle yard.
Yeah. Our yards have like curves and whatever because it's mostly rock because we just don't
live in a desert.
Grass is not great. We live in a desert. Right. And so what I like to do is go around the edges. It's like, bloop, 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 and then I go inward until I'm in the middle of the grass. So that's how
I can appreciate that.
But all the way?
Yeah. Because it's not a square yard. So
if you went to try to do straight lines, it would just be like ridiculous because you'd be turning around like every 2 seconds.
Yeah, my yard is not that long. You'd go up, 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 up.
And now you've got the trampoline, so it's like encroaching upon your mow.
Yeah, there's a little circle under the trampoline of like long grass now. I don't know what to do.
Yeah. Thanks for telling me about your deck.
It's an electric one. All right. That's it. That was a long show, fellas.
It was a great show.
It's awesome.
It's a great show. John, what do we have coming up in the next few weeks?
Not Dwarve.
Unfortunately, not Dwarve is right, which means I am fucked once I finish Tears of the Kingdom.
Big week this week. First of all, Front Mission 2 was supposed to come out on June 12th, and that it got postponed. So I don't know what happened there, but that was pretty late. I think they announced that about a week ago. So they found something bad that got delayed. But this week, Pocket Dungeon Puzzlers Pack. This is the DLC for the Shovel Knight game. That is coming out June 6th. I cannot wait. I am so excited for that. And fun fact, Drew, we're getting added to the Yacht Club Creators Club. That happened today. The PR manager was asking for creators to be added. And I said, me. And I sent our review of Shovel Knight Pocket Dungeon. And she goes, oh, I just added you. And she goes, and I remember your review too. And I was like, yeah.
Nice.
So that was awesome.
Did you send her our media kit, John?
Not over a tweet.
John,
Diablo 4. Diablo 4 gets its official release June 6th. You can play it now if you get the, Ultimate Edition or whatever. But the game comes out for everybody on June 6th. And then Harmony, The Fall of Reverie. I don't know. I think it might be a game only I'm listening to. But that's coming out on June 8th. On Switch. It's a console exclusive for a couple weeks on Switch.
Nice.
And that's it.
That's it. That's all we got. That's a show. That's a show with Hambone Jonny in person.
Awesome.
Goomba is not happy. Goomba is barking at us. He's pissed.
He's real pissed.
Goomba's like, you're not done yet?
We got asked. Did Goomba live up to your expectations?
Very much so. Goomba was the best dog I've ever met in my entire life.
Wow.
He played with me in the backyard. We were like chasing around each other. He really honestly just had to pee a little bit, but that's fine.
You helped him pee.
I just had to shake it out a little bit for him. It's totally fine. He's great. It's like the best dog.
Glad you could help. Well, it's been a beautiful episode. It's been a long episode. We have a golf tournament to win. We did it at Beauty Sleep. And
Indeed.
That's it, John.
Happy golfing in the morning.
We will.
Good night, Dad. The cashews are still there. I thought you guys would finish them.
That's a lot.
We put a good dent in there.
We did put a good dent in there.
You guys were eating cashews the whole episode, and it's really fairly full considering.
You eat only one cashew at a time. You don't like handful.
You can't.
Assistant Hershey Kisses.
It's only so many nuts you can have in your mouth at once.
Yeah, exactly. I prefer 2.
Good night, Dad.
Good night.
Good night.
The Dads After Dark show is part of the Nintendo Dads family of podcasts. You can subscribe to us anywhere podcasts are available, including Google, Overcast, Spotify, and Stitcher. And if you're using Apple Podcasts, don't forget to leave us a 5-star review. Pretty please? Be sure to join us on the Nintendo Dads Discord in our Dads After Dark channels for some naughty After Dark talk. Leave us a voicemail with Anchor and we'll play it on our next show. Check our podcast description for the link. Follow us on Twitter and now TikTok at @NDadsAfterDark or email us at dadsafterdarkshow@gmail.com. And a big thank you to Family Jewels for our show's music. That's all for tonight. Good night, Dads. Sweet dreams.